The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Rock and Shock 2019 has come and gone. And all that's left is the memories. Well, most of the memories. Some of the memories. I remember some of Rock and Shock. But hopefully with my compatriots, we can discuss this and maybe I'll remember a thing or two. But right now, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 377 of Trick or Treat Radio. Oh my God! I fucked myself. Hold on. I did the same thing I did to you, Raven Shadow, a couple weeks ago. I had the audio playing with fucking Facebook is fucking me, man. Anyways, we are the world's most dangerous podcast. We're recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein and also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau. We discuss one film a week. We argue. We make fun of each other. We do live shows on occasion, as we just did this past weekend, and we recount tales from the convention, at least the ones that some of us remember.
Yes.
A lot of it was a blur.
No, I'm referring to Raven Shadow's proclivity for drinking.
I was fine. I was on.
Were you wasted?
No, I was on behavior.
You were on behavior?
On behavior? What does that mean, on behavior?
I think it's fucking obvious. It's not my best behavior. Not my worst.
You were just on behavior. I think
yeah.
all of us are on behavior.
That's like Aries having one feeling.
Yeah, but it wasn't the worst behavior.
It kind of was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
No,
But
I've
the
been
thing
so
is
much
that-
worse.
the
I
thing
know
is-
somebody. Sorry, there was somebody that was hanging out with us that was definitely not me.
Well, the thing is that Aries can confirm, as well as all of us can confirm, that he only has one feeling.
Yeah, that is true.
But you're on behavior.
Yes, I was on behavior.
What does that mean?
What was I then? I was on behavior. Aries was on behavior, despite his one feeling.
But yeah,
Wolfie was on behavior.
yeah, I was on good behavior.
Oh, now you're on good behavior.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
I was
see.
on fine. I was fine. I was on fine behavior.
You were on fleek behavior.
No. Yeah, like what, fleek? What's that mean? Is that like fucking YOLO or some shit? What does that mean? Like you only love oranges? What's that fucking saying called?
You
No.
only love oranges.
Yeah. Stupid millennials. I'm sorry. I'm generalizing. After last week, I want to tie in.
No, last weekend was a blast.
Yes.
Yeah, so you know what? Before we jump into that, because I'm sure all of us are excited to discuss Rock and Shock, let me let folks know what we're doing this evening, and we are going to be talking about a film in a little bit, and that film is Parasite from director Bong Joon-ho. Looking forward to talking about this one. Should be some interesting discussion. And then we're just going to talk about Rock and Shock, probably for the first little bit of the show here, and maybe a little bit later if there's some stuff we forgot about. But a lot happened, and we saw some old friends, we made some new friends, so lots of stuff going on. So I'm excited to talk about it. So that's pretty much what's going on. And if anyone wants to contribute, if you're listening live, or if you're listening to this after the fact and we say something that you think is ludicrous, you want to yell at us, you want to contribute to the conversation, you can do so by sending an email or voicemail to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. So, all right, continue, MZ. You were saying something.
I said that we had a blast at Rock and Shock last week, all of us. And
Hey, don't put words in my mouth.
What?
You said all of us had a blast. You're just assuming?
Oh, you just saying you didn't have any fun last weekend?
I didn't say that. You just said I had a
Speaking for you,
maybe
okay?
I just had an adequate time.
Maybe you're just on behavior too, huh?
No,
Well, I'm speaking for you.
having
so
a blast is a feeling, and that's not my feeling.
I'm speaking for you, so shut up.
See? Yell at him when he does it.
I did.
No, I'm
Now he's done. So we're just you are done, aren't you?
Maybe.
Okay. All right. Well, we all had a blast, except maybe Aries. We don't know for certain. We'll find that out later as we go along.
Were we on behavior though?
Were we on behavior? I'd like to think that we were. Maybe we weren't. I don't know. It all depends on, because that whole idea is rather subjective. Who knows?
right. It could have been worse.
Yeah. It could have been a whole lot
Yeah.
worse.
So I think it was call that a win. It was very exciting.
Yeah, nobody walked away hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was nice.
That we know of.
That we know of.
Yeah.
There wasn't any apologies on that Monday morning after Rock and Shock, which
Right.
sometimes happens.
That we know of.
That we know of.
of.
Right, fair.
Let's be honest. You probably should have issued a few.
Why? You're being outrageous because you know how.
Do you remember the night? Do you remember every night?
Well, yes.
You just said you didn't.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah. I mean, it was dark out, and we went to Uno's.
Doc.
Doc.
It's not fucking wrong.
We went to Uno's every fucking night.
We did every damn night
On the telephone?
at the Uno's.
Corny would have been pissed at us if he was hanging out with us this year.
He would have, but maybe let's lead off where we end off. I think that I very much enjoyed. I don't know if we needed 3 Uno's nights, but it was I enjoyed all those Uno's nights.
Well, let me kick things off, I guess, because
right.
we'll go in some sort of sequential order here. So
Yeah.
I went up and headed up to the Raven Chateau. I gotta say, Raven Chateau was very gracious and hospitable, putting me up in the chateau. So
You can have Ollie's bed.
So I do appreciate that. He took care of me.
You're welcome, baby.
So
And let me say this: you were an amazing roommate. If I'm gonna be so bold, housemate, guest.
well, thank you. I didn't throw any punches. I didn't. I didn't.
No,
I
Oh,
didn't
fair.
tell you to go fuck yourself or anything. So.
you didn't.
He thought about it.
And that was so nice. No, and Johnny's he's self-contained. Like I was confused because normally when I've had out of town guests for the Rock and Shock, I stock up on some food, but I don't know what to get. And I'm thinking maybe English muffins. I don't know.
Why would you go English muffin?
Because I don't know. Like they do things different over there.
Am I your English muffin?
You are my English muffin. You have so many nooks and crannies that I just was hoping to
Oh my
unlock.
god!
Just want to have
No.
your melted butter and his nooks and crannies. Is that what you're saying?
Don't make it weird. But no, we were bro. But you brought your gear. You were very tactical too, and you could do your own thing. And I like that you felt comfortable there.
I did. I did bring a lot of stuff. I brought. I went grocery shopping beforehand. I brought prepared meals. I was all set.
It's better than I had.
I even brought my own towel, but
Prepared meals. What are you doing? Going on the space shuttle? You were just coming over here, for Christ's sake.
yes,
prepared.
and I eat certain things, and I'm not going to go buy prep a whole fucking bunch of food at Raven Chow's. I pre-made it here and brought it up with me.
As the guest, you could have fulfilled your share and actually done a little bit of the cooking.
Wow.
Well, I did supply my peanut butter. I think
Wow.
I don't think Raven Shadow had any. I think Marion might have. So that's my
Marion, yeah.
contribution.
And you brought me home.
Peanut butter.
I did. I brought you home on Saturday night.
That was nice. I missed that. But it was nice. No, it was cool. Johnny was here all weekend, pretty much all weekend. Marion was in, and when Ollie was here. Chloe was judging somewhere. We couldn't find her, but it was nice.
Yeah, it
You
was
guys
nice.
stayed.
So that was fun. Got to stay with Raven Shadow. We had some good talks, mostly about MZ, but hey, it's cool.
Yeah.
No,
Talking about me behind your back, huh?
just
You
kidding.
think
We
I-
didn't talk about. You actually didn't come up at all. I don't think.
Oh, good.
Like, who's that?
So
I'm easily forgettable.
Who's this Gary character?
yeah, but on Thursday night, the 4 of us got together, and what did we do? MZ, I'll let you tell folks. What did we do on Thursday night when we got together?
Oh, we fulfilled an obligation to our Patreons by
and a dream for some.
Yes, by recording a fan audio commentary of Police Academy 2, their first assignment.
That's right.
And that was fun.
Yeah, so I already transferred the audio over. I'm not sure when. I'll probably get it because we did put one out for October, so that may be our November one. So, we do have a film commentary, though, and I'm looking forward to sharing that with everyone. We'll see how it came out. It was our first time doing it, but we did it in the Raven Chateau in the Lair of Lost Swag right there. We're all watching the movie at the same time, and, we're contributing. And MZ had some great Police Academy flashbacks.
It's true.
So you have that to look forward to when you listen.
Yeah.
So that's going to be up on Patreon in probably beginning of November, maybe even late October. But that was fun to do. So glad we got a chance to do that. Get everyone together, and we did that. And then the next day on Friday, MZ and I got together. We went and headed down to the DCU Center for Rock and Shock. We set up. We got all squared away. Got in the booth, set everything up, and Friday night was pretty cool. So we had. Go ahead, MZ.
I was just going to say that, and it only took us about maybe 50 minutes to travel about 4 miles because of the fucking traffic.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Yeah, I don't even know what was going on, but yeah, it was 4 miles from Raven Shadows, and it took 45, 50 minutes to get there.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was what the hell? It's like people are acting like there's a convention going on in town.
Well, it's fair when I've had my balls busted in the past. It literally, you guys know what the DCU Center is, right?
No, we don't. We have no clue. We were just there this weekend.
Oh, fuck. Aries, please talk.
I'm familiar with the Centrum. I don't know this DCU Center.
Yes, the Centrum Centre. But you know how that's very close to where I have some of my lines of business, right? And it literally takes me pretty much a half an hour to get from my house to there, even though it's 15 minutes from there.
Yeah,
figure that out.
That's fucking dumb.
Yeah, it was crazy this time.
Right?
It was really crazy this time. But yeah, but Wolfie and I, we got set up. We were there, ready for the huge crowds to come in, and it was fun. There was a lot of people coming in. I mean, the big headliner at the con wasn't there that day, so I mean, understandably the crowd is a little bit lighter. Plus, it's a Friday night. It's only 5 hours, so not everybody's going to be there. But still, we ended up talking to a lot of people, and people were interested in what we were doing, and we were right next door to outside the cinema, and across from us, a little bit down across from us was Para Productions.
Yep.
And just on the other side of Para Productions, with Mike Baronis' company, and right next to them, on an end cap, was Rough House Publishing with Derek Rook and Steve Van Sampson, and so we were all in one small area by ourselves, which was really nice. We could easy access contact with each other if we needed to, which we did, and it was just a blast. Take it, Wolfie.
Jesus.
Well, I was going to say
easy access. That's what you say.
That's true.
And we're also next to Broke Horror Fan was just to our right as well.
Oh yeah,
and the Coolidge Corner was diagonal from us.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, they were good.
And also on that Friday, we got to meet Tim Chuma. It's my first Australian.
My first Australian. Is that going to be the name of your book, My First Australian?
Yeah. When I go to Australia. But that was nice.
Michael Raven Shadow 2, their first Australian.
Yes. But yeah, we met Tim. And then when Wolfie and MZ was setting up, Mary and I took Tim Chuma on his American hot dog journey tour.
Yes. I wish the tour that I wish I took instead of standing there with Wolfie, I'll tell you that.
Oh, man, you could have got a bunch of dogs.
Oh, that would have been great.
Did he ask for hot dogs, or did you just bring him to hot dogs?
Listen, it's a recession out there. Things are expensive. No, he wanted to. And he went to Coney Island, which is not the local area. Just give me a look. No, he wanted to taste American hot dogs.
And he liked Coney Island.
I think he enjoyed hot dog
he,
Andy
he said he
Dog
liked
Annie's.
hot dog Annie's better. Yeah.
because they toast the buns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the the deciding factor, the toasted buns.
Well,
Yeah.
then he would go fucking batshit over Art Bradish's. 'Cause they do.
Would he get a foot long?
You would probably get. I know I would. I'd get 3 of them.
There, you said you said you slowed down and went with the regular one.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. But next year I'm going back full force with it.
All right.
But yeah, I guess he loved his all-American hot dog run.
Yes.
That was awesome.
So that was it was cool meeting Tim. So Tim came, he flew all the way from fucking Australia to come to Rock and
Yeah.
Shock and come hang out with us. And Marion was kind enough to go pick him up, bring him to the Raven Chateau. We got to hang out with Tim for a little while. Really fucking cool guy. And he brought some gifts. He came bearing some gifts, and he had a very expensive punchline that he brought with him as well. A trip from Australia to USA just to cosplay as Raven Shadow.
And then be harassed by some of our local miscreants.
Well, people have goals, and that's one of them, and he achieved it.
But it was good. No, it was awesome. Tim was so sweet, really nice guy. And I
Tim
think
was a cool guy.
he really got to, I don't want to speak for him, but I think he got to see a lot of the, he saw more of the con than we did because he was always going to the events and the
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was having a
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a good time. I asked him, are you having a good time? I hope you're enjoying yourself. He goes, yeah, I'm having a blast, man. So, this is his first time in the States.
And last.
Probably. You know what? We should reciprocate we should reciprocate and all of us head down to Australia.
Are you buying those tickets?
I am absolutely not. Tim is. What do you say?
Wow.
Set us up, buddy.
So he bought his ticket out here, and then you expect him to buy our tickets there.
It only seems fair.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Aussie rules.
Somebody in the chat room named Coney Special says, "Did you have a dill spear, Raven Shadow?"
When?
I don't know. Ever?
I don't want to talk about it. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. No, they offer the pickles as a side thing.
Well, did you have one?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so that's
All
a
right,
simple
so-
answer.
I
Yeah,
know,
it's
no.
either yes
What
or
the
no.
fuck?
Jesus, it's like talking to a Republican. You can't get a yes or no answer out of him.
As far as you know, no. Thank you, Coney Special.
And Creepy Girl says, "Always sounds so fun. I wish I could have come."
Seriously, when it's fucking been what? How many years?
Yeah.
Creepy Girl, just come up.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was you sensed that this weekend was going to be different from other weekends, and
You sensed it?
I sensed it, sure. Well, for starters, we had Tim coming up all the way from Australia, which was it still blows my mind. I come in, Tim is here. He's in the basement with everybody else. I come in and I see him. I'm saying to myself, I can't fucking believe he's here.
Like, who's this fucking guy?
We talk and we talk and we talk a little bit more, and at the end I just say, I can't fucking believe you're here. It's overwhelming, and of course with Bruce Campbell showing up for this con, which is the first for him, and I just sense that this was going to be a very special.
It's amazing that it's the first for Bruce here for I don't know, like 15 years, and you would think that they would have gotten him before, but no, this was his first appearance at Rock and Shock.
Well, it's not like he's never been to Worcester before. He has.
Yeah, no, I
Right.
know. I think we're all, or most of us were there anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but yeah, the first time for Rock and Shock. Now, and apparently, he had a line a mile long. It was just insanity.
Yeah, there was. As you'd expect, there were some people that were upset about the line stuff. But a lot of people want to see Bruce, so I'm sure they did their best job to facilitate that. So, but yeah,
And I feel they from what I knew, they definitely said this is how it's going to go down.
Oh yeah, they were very clear about it up front. So,
And they shouldn't be pissed. All right, what my take on it? These people who are bitching and whining and complaining about waiting in line as long as they have. Listen to this, okay? If you've waited, if you wanted to wait all this time to meet Bruce Campbell, and you can't wait, say, maybe another 3.5, 4 hours, then there's something wrong with you, okay? There's something seriously wrong with you. If you waited all this time to meet him, and you're about 3.5, 4 hours away from meeting him, and you're starting to complain, fuck you, okay?
Wow.
Seriously, no wow about it.
Oh, wow.
Well, you do realize that someone like 30 years old waiting to see him hasn't been like sitting on a couch doing absolutely nothing, waiting 30 years. They've just been living their life.
Boy, why don't you get a job? I want to meet Bruce Campbell, Dad.
And this is just their first opportunity to actually come and meet him. So someone might be a little put off having to wait in a line.
oh, speaking of dads, Raven Shadow, someone just joined the chat room, right, or the Facebook. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But we found out Raven Shadow's a dad.
Yep.
We'll talk about that in a bit, though.
Speaking of lost memories.
And Coney Special says, I particularly enjoyed Tim's observations on the Worcester crime he witnessed.
Yes.
Worcester crime.
Yeah, he saw some
What happened?
fist fight. He saw someone get pepper sprayed.
Oh, we did.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry about that.
Well, you know what? They talk about how Australia is the most dangerous place in the world. So if he sees a couple of fist fights here, it's got to be nothing to him.
Yeah, it's fair. Wasn't giant spiders.
So it was cool hanging out with Tim Chumo. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about Tim. And then on Friday night, we did it's open 5 to 9. We did the 4-hour Rock and Shock deal. It was a little slow. I think most people were waiting for Bruce because Bruce Campbell was going to be there Saturday and Sunday. So it was a little bit slow on Friday, but that's to be expected. But we had fun, kind of like reacquainting ourselves with everyone. Hanging out with our booth mates and everything. So that was cool. And then after, of course, we went to Uno's. Thankfully, at Uno's, nobody had cut their lip on a drink, or service was okay. Yes. Nobody vomited. Nobody had well, actually, I was going to say nobody had the shits, but I don't know if it's our story to tell.
Yes, it's not.
But someone that was there had a little accident before Rocket Shock began. It's none of us.
What happened?
Well, it's not our story to tell.
Yeah, he just said that.
Yeah.
It's not a story to tell. When we go on break, it'll be explained.
Yeah.
Oh, for Christ.
Raven Shadow will tell
Okay.
you.
What? Fine.
Yeah.
I'm
come
surprised
downstairs
you
and tell
didn't
you.
hear it. So
Well, maybe I did. I just don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. We'll find out.
So I think it was just a small group of us on Friday that went to Uno's, right? Just a few of us.
It was a small group. Yeah.
Actually, well, Friday was a larger group, I thought.
Yeah, I went.
Well, it was a table though. We had the big table 2 days.
Oh, yeah, and
we were just shy of all.
That's
we
right.
were just shy of fitting in the table, but it made more sense for you and Michael Neal.
Yeah, it was me.
so-
Yeah, it was me, Michael Neal, author Michael Neal, filmmaker, right? Michael Neal, father of Jasper Neal, Michael Neal, father of filmmaker Jasper Neal, Michael Neal,
How big was his
penmanship.
table sitting with all these people?
and Jill and Greg from Licks Online.
I know that dude from somewhere.
Yeah, from Licks Online.
Licks Online.
LIX Online. Yeah.
What do you lick online?
It's not. Oh,
Oh, don't ask him. You don't want to know.
Stupid motherfucker. It has nothing to do with licking anything. It's just called Licks Online. LIX.
What do they sell? Lollipops.
I don't.
Okay. Well, I seen that dude before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always at Rock and Shock.
Yeah.
No.
You see him at Rock and Shock. He's at Chiller. He's at Monster Mania. He's everywhere, along with his wife Jill.
Huh.
Wonderful people.
So that was cool. Hung out, had a little din-dins. We were sitting next to a table that had Felissa Rose and a bunch of other folks at it. And
Yeah.
Someone had Felissa Rose take our picture. Was that what it was?
no, she didn't take our picture. Someone else took it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so yeah, someone else at that table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No. So I don't know. I don't think there was anything that happened that night. Was there anything I remember?
And that was a quiet night.
Yeah.
Well, I went up. I saw my friend Cindy Mullins, and she was at the bar, and she was dining with John Dugan, Grandpa from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I got to meet him for a little while, and he seems to be pretty cool. And it was good seeing Cindy again. Cindy, if you're listening, but I doubt it. Hello.
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 Oh, was it Friday that I met Ken Fiore?
Ken Forey.
Ken Fiore.
And yes, that was the night. Afterwards, Raven Shadow came in. And he's like, oh, I just met the zombie guy. And I'm like, huh? Yeah. I was just outside smoking, and then that zombie guy, the black zombie guy. And I was like, oh, Ken Forey. He's like, yeah. He just asked me for a smoke. And I'm like, that was if there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. That guy from fucking.
It's that guy.
Yeah, from Keenan and Kel.
Keenan and Kel.
No, as Ken Forey, man.
He was awesome.
He's
I thought it was
dude.
him. He was just kind of like Sam Jackson. He had one of those the hats on.
Yeah, Forey is cool. Forey's a cool guy.
And we're going to get to it later, but I was having a conversation with my son about Preacher, and he popped his head out, and he's like, and y'all got a cigarette? And I'm like, man, I'm like, you're the fucking dude. And I gave him a cigarette, and we just kind of like, hey, smoking's cool. And I gave him a light in the October air. And then that was nice. We had a moment, a shared moment.
Speaking of your son.
Yes.
So, all right. So you guys know how Dynamo has lots of kids.
Ask him, he'll tell you.
His sperm was everywhere.
Well, so he was with one of his finger quote kids, and we had just met him. His name's Chris. Good dude. And he was showing you something. No. Mars was showing you something on his phone, right? Right, Raven Shadow?
Mm.
I don't remember what he was showing you. But anyways, so his son is sitting right next to him, is messaging Mars on his phone, and you're seeing the messages. Did you see the messages come across, or were you ignoring them?
No, I didn't, because I think I was still wearing my sunglasses. So I really, in my sunglasses are darker now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do have my progressives in, but they're still dark. So I didn't read anything.
So,
I didn't really see what it said. So I don't know.
Yeah. So anyways, Mars gets his phone back, and he says, did you see what he just wrote? And you're like, no, I didn't see it. And then he showed you, and it said, I wish Raven Shadow was my dad. Because you guys found out you have a lot in common.
We did. We both love Preacher. We both like to smoke. He has sideburns. I have a beard, but he can grow into the rest. And no, he seemed like no. And I'm retired. I'm out of
You're
the
retired?
I'm retired. I'm out of the thoughts and prayers business, but I think that I have a new ward that will I have a second chance. I think it'll be excellent.
You were so full of shit.
No, it was nice, and he likes the rock and the roll, the punk rock. I like the punk rock. So it turns out that it may. And once again, there's a certain time in the '90s where Dynamo and I were in the same facility, building, and it's possible, and we had access to.
You
guys crossed the
to what? Women? What?
To whatever.
To what?
Whatever happens to people coming into the establishment. And there may be some memory loss, and who knows whose father in 2019 as opposed to 1997.
Sounds like everybody had a memory loss. Otherwise, you'd have one hell of a lawsuit on your hands.
That's fucking true, and I think some things are still pending. We don't want to talk about.
So your son in the chat room says, "My pop."
Oh my God! It's like, you know what that's like? It's like hearing Angels doing like a Cliff Burton bass solo. That's so magical.
Angels doing it?
Yeah, like an angel doing a Cliff Burton bass. If Cliff Burton was in heaven, doing his own bass solo. That magical to me.
Wow. So, all right. Coney Special says 23 in Mars, which is pretty fucking hilarious. And then Coney Special also says Orchids of Raven Shadow.
Yes.
So so Raven Shadow has a son now, and it very really could potentially be his son.
We're not sure. I've seen some photos of other fathers that he was claimed to have, and I think I'm more on the nose.
So yeah,
But we have mutual friends in common. Like, it's so awesome.
Right.
so Raven Shadow's got a son now. That's part of the continuity now.
Yep, it's canon.
Yeah, it's canon. You want to call him your ward, he wants to call you Pop Pop, so it's a little weird.
Yeah. No, we're gonna figure some things out. No, I'm gonna take him swimming.
That's weird.
No, I mean, like in a pool.
Well, where else would you swim? What, in a pond?
Yeah, I could.
Pool or
Bat.
Yeah,
Pond's better for you.
Gonna build snowmen. Gonna make shadow angels.
So that was pretty much Friday, I believe. We hung out for a while, had fun, and then Saturday we did it all over again. Went to Rock and Shock, and what happened on Saturday? It was packed.
It was a blur
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
It was just madness.
We met some cool
Biggest
folks.
crowd I've ever seen in there.
Might be, yeah. Oh, Tim Chuma's in the chat room. He says Bombaleo.
I'm a Leo, baby.
So Saturday, I don't even remember what the fuck happened. We had fun. There was a lot of stuff going on. We got to see some additional people. We saw Michael Neal and Jasper. We got to see Arkham Josh was there.
Yes.
We
It's
got
always
to
good to see.
Got to see Anthony, our pal, and Andrew Willanen. Of course, now that I started naming people, I'm going to forget. But we got to see a shitload of people, and it was really cool. So Saturday was fun. We didn't really do much. I mean, we just talked to people because it was so busy. So that was pretty fun.
It was a blur. It went by so quickly.
Yeah. Coney Special says, so does Mars meet Raven Shadow in a parking lot to drop him off for weekend custody rights?
Yeah, we can figure out,
Well, the weirdest part about that though is the kid has to drive Mars to the parking lot for the drive.
Yeah. That is kind of funny. So Mars is stuck in the parking lot?
See you on Sunday.
Here you go, Dad.
That's weird. We can figure something out, yeah. Some kind of bus.
The bus.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure
Yeah, Saturday was a lot of fun. It was a lot of it is a blur because it was just so much going on. We spoke to a whole lot of people that day.
Yeah.
We did a lot of goofing around. Tim was having a ball.
He showed up.
Man.
He showed up in his. He had his Raven Shadow cosplay, and then he also did his, I assume, Australian. He was basically Australia with all the deadly
He
animals.
was playing, I don't know, Australian cosplay. He was done up in a big wide like wicker hat.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want to, whatever that stuff is called. A big wide wicker hat. He had a big like Hawaiian shirt on, and he had these, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 of stuffed animals tied to him.
Definitely a koala bear.
He had a koala bear. He had a kiwi. He had a dolphin.
Was there a dingo?
I don't remember if there was a dingo. I
I
remember
there wasn't a dingo, but there was that one thing we couldn't figure out what it was.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was something there. It kind of looked like a porcupine, but I wasn't exactly sure. I'm sure Tim will. If he's in, he'll inform us what it was that he was wearing. But he had a big, and it had blood all over it and everything.
Yeah, it was outrageous.
It was crazy. It was funny. It's like, oh well, okay, well if that's Australia, I'm definitely not going there then.
No, you dig it the most.
Because I think it scared Mars a little bit too.
That's fair.
So yeah, no, that was a good time. And then we had a bigger crowd that night when we went out. We had, I know we had a few additional people with us. I think D Rook was there with us, and Steve Van Sampson. So we had a slightly bigger crowd, different crowd.
And we were going to try something different, but then we heard negative feedback from where they went on Friday, so we ended up going back to the Devil We Knew.
Yes. Coney Special says, Tim, I loved your costume.
Yes.
I don't know.
And
who-
notice how,
Huh?
no, I was just gonna say, and notice how much easier it was to go out and eat without having to go back and forth to figure out where people want to go eat. We had this determined before we even started, and fuck anybody who didn't want to go along with it. We went to Uno's, and that was it. If you didn't want to go, fuck yourselves. We're going.
Wow.
If you recall, we just discussed how we were going to go someplace else,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
someone chimed in, and we went to Uno's.
Yeah, it was
So it was the opposite.
it was a lost cause. It was pointless. Smart.
Okay, I remember Saturday.
Wow, how general.
Yeah, he does that sometimes. He'll be out for a couple minutes now.
Yeah. And then I went to the bar with D-Rook. That was cool. Yeah.
Bought your
Oh.
beer. You did nothing but complain about it.
Listen. Oh, and Tom C showed up.
Oh, yeah,
Speaking
that's
of complaining, we saw Tom C.
Yeah,
And
and that
and
mustache.
yeah. I had to go in the bar, and then it was like after party, so it was like MZ. Were you?
No, he wasn't there.
You
No,
left,
I only went Friday.
Yeah, it was Johnny, Wolfie, myself, D-Rook, Tom C.
Johnny and Wolfie.
Johnny and Wolfie. Two of them, Aries. He's getting mad. I didn't say his name. But yeah, I had to go out for a minute, and then you drank the beer.
I drank the beer. Yes.
Yeah. But okay, well, fine. Thank you for buying that. Blue Moon did taste kind of weird.
I'm sorry, it wasn't Bud Light.
Well,
a
listen,
Rolling Rock.
Aries drinks Rolling Rock too.
Not anymore.
Drink a real beer.
Drink a beer, will you?
Drink a real beer. I drink beer. Okay, just not all the time like you do.
And actually, the more important takeaway from this is that someone bought your beer, and you didn't just say thank you. You just complained after every sip.
No, I did say thank you.
No, you didn't.
Well,
you just said you
You
said
just-
you didn't.
You just complained after every sip, and then when you left for 10 minutes, I'm like, fuck it, I'm drinking it.
Oh, well, I apologize. Then I thank you for buying that.
Yeah.
I think Tom C was
Wow.
getting me going.
Wow. Bought
Well-
you a beer and all you did was complain about it.
And D-Rook had a huge fucking piece of cake the size of your head.
He did buy that fucking piece of the rock.
Was there any glass in it?
No, thankfully. So
'Cause that would have been that would have been like really bad if that was the case.
yes, it would have been very bad. So that was fun. Saturday was fun, and let's see. I guess Sunday we probably have more to talk about Sunday. Sunday was another short day, 11 to 5, and so that was also the day that we did our live show, and
Yes.
yeah. So I'm trying to think what else. If there's anything else that happened. Oh, we got to hang out. Obviously, Morbid Vision Films. Our buddy Brian and Stacy and Joe and Ashley and a few other folks over there. So that was fun seeing those guys.
That's another thing I
Yeah.
forgot to mention on Saturday. I took Tim
Yes.
I took Tim over to the Morbid Vision table and I says, "Come with me." I said, "Hey, Stacy, there's somebody here I want you to meet." Because Stacy is also from Australia.
Oh.
So I said, "Hey, Stace," I said, "I want you to meet somebody, friend of mine. This is Tim. He flew in all the way in from Australia to be here this weekend." And she's like, "You're Australian?" He's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Get the fuck out of here. You're shitting me. Get the fuck out of here.
And he
You're not
left.
from Australia." Say, then they started talking in some kind of, dialect that some codes that, words
Some
that
codes.
they, you know what I mean? So,
Luck, 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 duck, duck, duck.
no,
Duck, 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 duck.
no, they started talking to each other in a way that they would understand because Stacy was like, "All right, then what's whatever it is that she
What's a
I don't know what-"
wallaby in the evening called?
You know,
Dingo by
and-
dawn.
And shut up. And he
Did go by
to her, and she's like, "Okay, yeah, you're Australian." So I thought that was kind of fun just to have those two meet up.
Yeah. Stacy's awesome, and obviously we've been seeing her since Rock and Shock began there. So
Oh, she's great.
So then we finally got the live show at 2 to 2:30. Sorry, 2 to 3:30. So we head on over there, and we're had our boy Bill by Force once again in tow as he moderated the live podcast for us, which is nice. And there was a pretty good turnout. I would say, I don't know, like we had maybe like I don't know,
I counted.
what was it, like 20, 15, 20 at first?
18.
Okay, so
18 first.
right in the middle. So we had about 18 to start, and then by the end, the entire thing was pretty much almost packed.
Yeah. Yeah, which was really nice. So, and that was about the last half hour of our show.
Yeah.
That this place was starting to fill up. There was probably about maybe 55, 60 people at that point.
I think it was more. It was literally. I think it
More than
holds.
that.
Yeah, I think it holds.
I
I
mean, it
want to say
wasn't all
like,
the way filled up.
I want to say it
I
holds
guess
about
it was.
2 to 250. I think when it's all filled up, and we must have had at least 120 or something.
Yeah, the room was 2/3 full by the time we were done.
Was it?
Now, not all of them showed up for us. I'll
Yeah,
be
But
clear
we
about
may
that.
have made some new fans in there.
Yes, we did. And like I said, we were jerking the curtain for the chin. So Bruce Campbell was following us, and yeah, like we the place was pretty much packed, and we definitely had some new people. Like, even I'm actually looking in the chat room, and somebody posted a couple days ago. I guess he was just checking out the site, but it was Timmer. Timmer was the guy that had the like the hockey jersey on the front row.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he came up.
yeah.
He came up and
Okay.
said hello to us after the show. Came by to our booth and talked to us, and so he said a couple days ago, "Great seeing you guys at Rock and Shock. Keep rocking it." So Tim enjoyed it, and we had some other. I'll pull it up in a sec. We had some action on Instagram. Some people who checked out. They were actually there for the whole live show. There was a couple in the back. And I remember them because the girl, the woman in the couple, had mentioned The Wailing, which was
Yes.
a movie that I especially love, and was one of the ones that I actually forgot to name when picking kind of some of my favorite films over the last few years. So I thought that was really cool. Let me just find her comment and I'll read it because they were really awesome about like. Asking questions, and we had some great questions, and we had some great contributions from people in the crowd. Especially, I think my favorite. Do you guys want to talk about the Suspiria guy? Someone want to tell that story?
Well, that guy was the best because we're talking about a big conversation was remakes. That's one kind of the driver of our meeting. And Bill by Force was doing his thing. He was in the crowd, keeping it going, and he'd give the mic to folks who had something to say. But I think it was Johnny who you professed obviously you love Suspiria. The fact that you named your band Suspiria when you were 15, gives you street cred. But that you also like the remake for what it was, if memory serves. Monster Zero had seen it. And then all of a sudden this dude like popped up, like he came out of the floor, like either manservant Hecubus or Gangrel coming to the ring. Like, like he just like raised up. And then he's like, fuck Suspiria. Like he just was like going off. And Bill had to run to him, and he like pretty much like gave his 10 cents, said F you remake, and he was out. Didn't see him again.
Yep.
But like something compelled him. Like he was like, those motherfuckers are talking about the remake. He had to come over to us.
Yep.
Yeah, he must have heard because he literally showed up, didn't sit down. He was standing on the side. Like he raised his hand to say something. Bill came over with the mic. He said his fucking piece, and then essentially like did a mic drop. He didn't actually drop the mic, but it was literally like a mic drop, and then fucking walked out. He's like, Suspiria sucks. Or the new Suspiria specifically.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Yeah,
He's
so
like, honey, I'll be right back.
yeah. Someone's talking about the new Suspiria. I'll be right back. So that was pretty fucking awesome. So let me just call out here. This is let's see. I don't know. I don't know if people want me to call out their social media, so I won't say the name on social media. But basically said today was a Rock and Shock convention. Today was a good time. Blah blah blah, a lot of other stuff. Got to see Bruce Campbell. That fucking ruled. Also saw a great panel with Trick or Treat Radio. Super solid weekend. So I commented and said thanks for hanging out with us, and she said, of course, love what you guys had to say about horror suspense. Y'all got a new subscriber.
Awesome.
So,
And that's what was so cool. I mean, definitely thank our friends and for coming to the panel anyway. But I think it was also cool too, who came for Bruce and seemed to engage us, because we spent a lot of time talking after the show. With folks who were clearly there for Bruce.
Oh yeah.
well, there's also those folks in the front row, the two that were dressed as various versions of Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. A couple dressed as Bruce Campbell, and the guy, I apologize, I forget his name, but he said he was a filmmaker, and he had some great questions for us, and that was a lot of fun. And so I think they both followed us on Twitter as well. So, and I think they are now checking out the show. So yeah, so we definitely. We had people there specifically to see us, and then we had the Bruce Campbell effect, if you will. And a lot of people started to get in line or get in the panel room to see Bruce talk, and a lot of them got to see the end of our show, and people seemed to really really dig it. People were contributing and having fun. And then when we get off stage, I said I had a bunch of flyers if people want them for info about the show, and a bunch of people came up and grabbed them. So we definitely converted some folks, which was it's a good feeling. You don't really get that interaction very often,
Right.
It's like
It was a good show.
That's why I said it was like like an opening band when you go to see like the main event band, the headliner, but then you happen to catch a little bit of the opener. You're like, oh, these guys are pretty cool. I'm going to check them out. That's kind of like similar effect, So it was pretty awesome. So we
It was like when Jimi Hendrix opened up for the Monkees,
yeah, exactly like that.
Is that like your one piece of Monkeys trivia? Because you always bring that up.
Well, music trivia, that and the guy the fucking time the Def Leppard dude got in the bus accident. That's all he knows.
I think it's relevant here. Thank you.
So your son says, "I love you, Pop Pop." Calls himself Raven Son.
Love you, baby. Yep. Keep reading.
And Gromcast,
Make sure you go to bed early.
Yeah.
You got school tomorrow.
Gromcast Josh says, "I enjoyed seeing all the photos from Rock and Shock on Instagram from Mars and the Trick or Treat Radio account. Glad y'all had a good weekend." Thanks, buddy. I wish Gromcast Josh was there. That would be fun.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
He's from somewhere kind of in the south a little bit.
Yeah, like Samaria.
Yeah. I'm not going to say, I don't know. I'm not going to tell. You want me to give his address? His phone number?
Yeah. Does it have a 4 in it?
Social security number?
Yeah, no. I think I know it already.
What is it?
Well, just post your address on the Facebook page. That way, everyone can just stop in and spend the night here.
I think it might be the way things have been happening lately. I think I'm getting a lot of packages come to my house.
If you want to send packages to Michael Ravitchow's house, his address is.
It's got a 3 in it somewhere.
Yeah.
Have a 3.
That's all we know.
Probably figure it out, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually not that.
Street, it might be a street, an avenue, a road.
Someone could probably actually guess it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely been mentioned over the 7 whatever the fuck years, but
it's not, and you can probably just write Raven Chateau and it'll probably get to you.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, the mailmen know me.
It's like when a kid writes to Santa Claus, says to Santa Claus, North Pole.
Yeah, exactly. And then we also got Paps hanging out. Paps says, "What's up, guys? I'm here until I pass the fuck out."
Oh
Hey-o.
man, we saw Paps. We friends on Facebook. That was nice.
Yeah, we got to see Paps, and I got to pick on him. Because he's younger, so I picked on him while we were doing the live show.
Yeah, you did. That was rude.
Chromcast Josh says Samaria is pretty close to Kentucky. There you go.
No worries now.
So cat's out of the bag. Josh is in Kentucky.
Jarrett Blinkhorn in the house.
Oh,
yeah. We got to
Sunday,
see
yeah.
Blix.
His new streamlined Kyle Rayner haircut.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
And his reduced drinking habits.
It was reduced.
Yeah, he had like 17.
No, he only had 15 this time.
The usual 20.
Yeah.
It was awesome seeing Jarrett, though. We haven't seen him in what, like a year probably?
At least.
Probably since Rock and Shock.
Yeah, you might be right.
I don't think we saw him after that last year.
Yeah, you might be right.
And once again, it sucks to name names because you're going to forget somebody. But seriously, thank you, everyone, for for hanging out with us or even saying hi to us or just lying and saying you liked us. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, and the other one too, I did forget them earlier, but we also got to see the folks from the Dorkening Network. So we saw formerly Three Guys at Horror, now the Horror Squad. So we got to see Joe from the Horror Squad was there. It was good to see him. We saw the folks from That Strange Show. We saw Patsy and Ashes from Throwdown Thursday, and Kevin and Leo from the Dorkening. So it was good to see all those guys. They were in the same row, just kind of all the way down on the other side. So we didn't really get to interact very often, but it was good to see them. And there was maybe some talks about some team ups in the future. So that should be fun. But overall it was a great weekend. And we got to see some great people. Met some new friends. Saw some old friends. Got to see some friends we haven't seen in a while. So it was really awesome.
Yeah, it was a blast, man. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun. It's very rewarding. I mean, I look forward to doing these cons all the time. With this show, and
there's a potential. I guess I'm not going to say too much, but there's a potential for another one in like a couple of months if you guys are interested. We'll talk off there.
Yeah.
We'll talk off there.
I don't even know which con you're talking about.
Right, we'll talk off there.
Yeah, Hall H.
Yeah, Hall H.
Monster Zero.
We're doing a live show in Hall H, San Diego Comic-Con. Kevin Feige is going to be there hanging out with us,
Yes. Guy you might know, Robert Downey Jr.
So, any other stories or anecdotes or anything having to do with Rock and Shock you guys want to convey?
Well, Wolfie, you and I, we got to see our old friend Choppy.
Yes, we did. Yeah,
from Spooky World, from our old Spooky World days.
Yep.
And also, we might as well announce it now. I'm sure you know about it by now, Wolfie, about the upcoming documentary.
Yeah, so our buddy Anthony is as a producer on an upcoming documentary about Spooky World, which MZ and I both worked at back in the day. So yeah, should be interesting. I don't know, it sounds like it'll be a cool project though. So, and if Anthony's involved, then hey, like that's awesome because he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Man. Raven Shadow, I gotta admit, you got a little bro crush.
On you?
No, on Anthony.
Oh yeah.
You were like, I gotta hang out with that guy.
I gotta hang out with that guy.
Yeah.
Well, because he's still in a movie. That's why he's going to hang out with him.
No, he's a good pal. He's a nice guy. I think we just feel something about each other. A couple of dudes.
Wait till we get his take on you before you start speaking for him.
Well, call him up.
I can only imagine what his opinion of you must be.
I'm gonna send him a message right now.
You got it. Wait, no, you don't.
You think we're not fucking friends on the interwebs?
If you do, I'm willing to bet this will be the first message you send to him.
No, I'd like to cut his jib. No,
he's been messaging him nonstop. Call me, please. I miss you. I miss your face. Touch me.
Oh, yeah, cute.
That's a great picture of us all having dinner, and he's
you are sickening. You know that?
You are fucking sickening.
No,
okay?
I'm not. You're sickening.
Well, you know what? I just like a dude.
Well, come on, go ahead.
You don't think I was fucking? I'll fucking. No.
Go ahead.
My sunglasses are very dark now.
He's under pressure. He can't work technology under pressure.
No, I gotta find them.
Coney Special says, you all are the straw that stirs the drink at Rock and Shock.
Really? No, thank you.
That's not who I thought it was then.
And then Coney Special says, Anthony has a sweet ass.
It's who I thought it was.
All right, pal.
Pal. Listen, pal. Get your pants up, pal.
So no, that was good. And man, I was just about to mention someone else that we forgot, but I forgot now who I was going to mention. So I forgot. But I forgot again. But no, it was a good time. And also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention we got to spend some quality time with our old compadre Mars.
Yeah,
I know we mentioned him earlier, but but Mars was hanging out at the booth, hanging out with us. So it was good to spend some time.
Yeah, it was
and,
nice.
and thank you for
Yeah.
manning the booth while we had our panel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mars
Yes.
stood at the booth while we did the panel, so we appreciate that. Coney Special says, "God damn, pal."
Pal.
Cat's out of the bag now, Raven Shadow.
Oh shit! I was doing that like to myself at work.
I know.
today.
I
was
heard you were doing it when we were like hanging out after Rocket Shock. You're like, "Oh, pal."
just-
Although, okay, Raven Shadow, take your headphones off. I gotta tell a story. Take your headphones off.
I think I know what you're telling.
All right, so guys, Aries and MZ, you guys are gonna love this.
But you witnessed it. Yeah.
So Sunday after Rock and Shock, things got done pretty early because it gets over at 6 or 5 rather, and then we packed up, went out to eat. We got back to Raven Shadow's place around 8:30, 9 or something like that, and so it's Raven Shadow, myself, and Marion. We're just kind of hanging out, low key, and we're just talking. And then Raven Shadow's like, "Oh, you want to watch a movie?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool. Let's watch a movie." So we sit down about 9 o'clock. No, it was about like 9:30, maybe close to 10 actually, maybe close to 10. Sit down and watch a movie. We're going through, looking through, see what we're gonna watch, and Marion scrolls by Gentleman Broncos, which I love, and I've seen like a few times. So I'm like, "Oh, I love that movie." She's like, "I do too." And we asked Raven Shadow, "Have you seen this?" He's like, "No, I've never seen it." So we were talking it up, and we're like, "All right, we got to watch it now, right?" So we turn it on. Within about 10 minutes, Raven Shadow's up making food, not watching the movie. You made I don't know what you made, something quick. It was a sandwich or something like that.
Yeah, I first lit off with an
appetizer.
Yeah, the amuse bouche. I put some white bread in the toaster oven, get just a little hot, not toasted, but just hot. And I made a turkey slice and some cheese. Aries is fucking judging me like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
right
so-
now.
yes.
So
You got attention span of a moth. You know that?
So he made himself. So guys, I got a chance to sit down and see how Raven Shadow operates when he watches a movie, and I have a feeling this is exactly how it goes every single week because he talks about like doing the dishes and doing other stuff. So he eats a sandwich. Was watching the movie. He's chuckling a little bit. He thinks it's funny. It's got Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords and also What We Do in the Shadows. Funny guy. And it's also directed by Jared Hess, the guy who did Napoleon Dynamite. So it's a little offbeat comedy. It's got Sam Rockwell. Raven Shadow likes the Sam Rockwell, right?
Yep.
So, and then I'd say maybe about 15 minutes later, maybe 20, I don't know, he goes off into the kitchen and disappears for about 25 minutes. And he's fucking like baking something in the oven. What the fuck were you doing?
Listen. All right. Well, full disclosure. We had, after Rocket Shock, after everything was done, I may have taken something that rhymed with medible.
Medible?
Okay.
What could it be?
Right. Just saying it rhymes with medible. And the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, it's legal Aries.
Okay.
So-
So why are you hiding it?
Yeah.
Just saying, it rhymes with medible for those in the cheap seats. So yeah, everything was done. Everything was done. The dishes were done. Everything was done.
Dishes
and-
were done, man.
Yeah. And then I enjoyed the movie, but then I'm like, you know what? I got fucking chicken patties in there. So I made 2 chicken patties. Get those buns out, toasted them. That's nice. And put some.
You love
shredded-
toasted buns too.
It's nice. It really. I'm with like Tim from Australia. Toasted buns make things fun.
Well, do you toast them or you warm them? Because that's two different things.
Good point, Aries. So with the bread, I just warmed them, but with the buns, I toasted them. I was classy. I put them on top of the tin foil in the oven.
Okay, someone called that white trash, but continue.
But I call it Sunday after Rock and Shock. But no, it was nice. A little snack. I offered.
You offered the vegan turkey.
Chicken.
Chicken, sorry,
Yeah.
chicken.
No, turkey earlier and then chicken later.
Yeah.
Did you have any other birds during the course of this movie?
I guess that medible hit a little harder than you thought. Huh?
Oh man, it was.
You
nice.
did go back for seconds, by the way. I remember Marion said, "Just take a little," and you went back for seconds.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
Raven Shadow makes his fucking chicken sandwiches, two of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, at this point, the movie's like half over,
But I'm into it.
And you're into it, but you missed a big portion of it. You missed like the Sam Rockwell stuff where he's like, because in the movie it's about a science fiction author and how he steals a story from a young up and coming writer, and so they show Sam Rockwell plays the main character in the book. So whenever someone reads the book, there's like a reenactment of Sam Rockwell playing the character, of showing what's happening in the book. So that you get to see it from two perspectives. You get to see it from the kid, and then you get to see it from Ronald Chevalier. And that's how he answered the phone. He'd say, Chevalier. So that's how Raven Shadow's going to answer the phone from now on. So
Raven Shadow.
Raven Shadow. So so there's some really fucking funny scenes Raven Shadow's just missing. And I'm like, all right, what the fuck? All right. So then he comes back. He's eating his food. He's like really daintily eating his food, taking slow bites, looking at it, not watching the movie very well. And then, let's say 15 minutes after he eats, he's fucking out. He's sleeping. Missed the last 20, 25 minutes of the movie.
I was resting my eyes. And that's a sign of comfort because I felt relaxed in front of you.
What is your glitch, man?
Really? That's waking up. You felt comfortable in front of him?
Yeah.
You felt comfortable in front of a movie theater full of people that you slept during Superior?
Yeah.
Well, listen, it was the remake guy who stood up and got pissed. Okay. He's fine with that. But no, I think what we're trying to say is that it was a long Rock and Shock weekend, and it was nice. I had my girlfriend there. I had Johnny over, and I had my dog. And you know what? Shit was kicking. Thank you. He's here. He's talking about.
He's know you're full of shit.
He remembers. And then I just, it was. I think what we're trying to say. It was a memory.
That's what you get from it.
Yeah, it was a
How
memory.
is it a
Sure,
memory?
it sure was a
And I
memory.
got to watch it again.
So
I got to watch the movie again.
You're gonna watch it for the first time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, watch it again.
That's
first
why you watch movies multiple times, because you never finish them in one sitting.
You think I'm fucking kidding?
Let me tell you something, Wolfie. I came in today.
The movie was on.
He told
it
us
was just ending. The movie was just ending.
He told us that he was, though. He came clean on that one. He said, "I got to watch the end of the movie before the show."
Okay, what was he sitting down watching it when you walked in? He was. He was actually sitting down.
Yeah, he was.
Wow.
We'll
Was it
knows if
making
he
a
was
chicken
awake?
sandwich?
I mean, I can't say if he was awake. All I know is that he was sitting down in front of the TV.
No, but I had some problems last night with that Johnny, and Johnny helped me.
Yep.
From Maryland.
Yep.
You guys didn't fucking chime in. You didn't give a fuck.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could just say, hey, try harder, or like,
All right, try harder.
better.
Hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, like,
Hit it on the side.
you can. Hey.
All right. Try
Attaboy.
harder. Try harder. There. I helped you.
They're good. Yeah, where were you last night? But no, we figured some things out.
That's
and,
for your next fuck up.
Yeah, good. Well, stay tuned.
So I just imagine that's Raven Shadow's experience for every fucking movie.
It's
I think
fucking-
that's his experience every fucking day. That's how he lives his life. Half asleep, half awake, munchies.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of things. There's fucking laundry. I got to work on some bushes on Sunday. Take the fucking AC out.
I gotta wipe the paws off the dog.
Yeah, you're gonna fuck with the dog.
Although we did have some time right before I left to tidy up the studio a little bit, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, we did.
So tidied up some cords, made it so things aren't as easy to trip on anymore, and kind of just spruce things up a little bit.
It was so nice, Johnny. Why don't you just live here?
I want to move in.
Yeah, it was
Now-
so nice.
Now, Johnny, I noticed you said we, but by we you mean you tidied
Johnny.
up and
Yeah.
Yeah, he helped a little bit.
a little bit.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
It was kind of like, Dad, can I help? Like, what is? Can I hold the hammer? Like, yeah, you can hold the hammer. And it was like
Yeah.
the mallet. What should I hit? Why don't you go in the living room? Okay. Wait a minute. The studio's not in the living room.
Yeah, that's close enough. But it was good. Raven Shadow and I and I don't have a problem with this, but I ended up staying a little later than I wanted to because Raven Shadow and I were just chatting, just shooting the shit,
Yeah.
But
So nice.
then I took and I went home and I took a detour and I stopped at the best vegan bakery in the world called Vegan Treats. Bought about $50 worth of treats and then came home.
Is that where you got the potato chips?
No. Vegan Treats is
Because you know you can get those anywhere.
it's a bakery, man.
Okay, man.
Yeah, man.
Fuck, see?
It's a bakery, man. You gotta have those blueberry muffins. They gotta be vegan.
No, there's like cakes and
Those blueberries can't be animals.
there's cakes and an apple Danish and what was the other things? What are those Italian pastries?
Cannolis.
Cannolis, thank you. Yes, cannolis too. Yep. So it was good stuff. Good shit, pal.
Oh, pal. More of
So-
those cream.
Overall, great weekend. Had a blast with you guys hanging out. Started off with some Police Academy 2 and ended up fixing up the studio a little bit. So,
It's nice.
and everything else in between was fun. So that's I guess if we think of anything else, we have some time during the show to discuss. But I think we should probably move on a little bit. We can revisit if you guys think of anything else you wanted to discuss, or if there's someone else you thought of that you wanted to thank. And yeah, actually, I did think of someone I want to thank. Big thanks to Mike Welch, who runs the vendors at Rock and Shock. I don't know if he'll hear this, but Mike is a great dude, and everyone just could not stop talking about how awesome he is to deal with. Because he's a great dude, and he makes it so easy at Rock and Shock to just get everything that you need. In the past, it hasn't been that easy. It's been kind of like pulling teeth. But ever since Mike has been there, it's been amazing. So big kudos to Mike. He's a great dude, too. You know him, MZ.
Oh yeah. I've known him for a long time.
Yeah, he's a really great dude. So big thanks to Mike for everything he did and helping us out and making everything go smoothly and everything like that. So big.
He moves around like a chicken with his head cut off, but goddamn, he gets it done.
Yep.
That's props. That's big props.
Yep, absolutely. So just wanted to mention Mike as well. So, all right. Well, we mentioned Patreon a little while ago, and we will be putting up the Police Academy 2 film commentary. So it's obviously something a little bit different. We don't normally talk about or review films like that, but it's a film that comes up a lot, and it's a film that we all enjoy from our childhood, and people wanted us to do it. So it just seemed appropriate. So you guys, what you can do is you can sync it up to the movie. You can watch Police Academy 2, and you can sync it up and listen to our commentary over it. We actually realized while we were doing it, there were a couple of points in time where there was a little bit of silence because we were just actually like engaged in watching the movie. So if you guys do listen to that without watching the movie at the same time, just know that there may be some pauses here and there because we're all like, really enjoying the movie and engaged in it. So, being our first film commentary, we kind of forgot like, oh yeah, we should fill some time here because there may be some people not watching the movie along with us. So, but MZ was good. He came prepared with lots of Police Academy flash facts, if you will. So whenever there was some dead spots, he kind of filled the air a little bit. So that was good. But hey, I had fun doing it, and maybe it's something we can do again in the future. Obviously, you'd probably have to have us all in the same place, but we can do it next time I'm up there. Maybe we'll do another one. So people, when it gets released, if people enjoy that, let us know because we'd love to hear what you guys think. Because if you like it, we'll do another one. So that will be up on Patreon soon. If you guys want to hear it, check out patreon.com/trickortreatradio, and you can go ahead and help support us for as little as $2 a month. And if you guys want the audio content, it's $5 a month to start. And you know what? What's $5 a month, Raven Shadow? What costs $5? What would you not spend money on to pay to help us on Patreon?
Wait, what?
What? That's one comic book. That's one Frappuccino from Starbucks.
What's $5? What costs $5 these days?
I could almost buy a pack of cigarettes.
Almost.
Almost.
So
you're less than half right at this point.
Well, yeah, we're gonna buy fucking Lucy's a fucking $5. But I mean, no, I guess you could buy. Yeah, you could probably buy 2 coffees. No, 1 coffee, right?
From where? Cumberland Farms.
Cumberland Farms.
Cumberland Farms, you can get a lot. You can get a lot. You can
It's
get
5 coffees, right? How much are they,
Yeah.
MZ?
99 cents.
Woo! That's pizza.
With
Coffee.
flair.
So, all right. Well, $5.
Well, $5 is a lot of money. Let's face
$5
it,
a
but,
month.
yeah.
That's
$5 is not a lot of money.
$5. What is this? 1933? $5 is not a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money. Raven Shadow. It's not a lot. That's like what?
That's
eight-
the whole point.
That's probably like 8 cigarettes.
All right. Well, all right.
Wait,
Yeah.
actually,
Well, he's really not the best spokesperson for this.
No,
sort
it'd
of
be
thing.
10. It'd be
Raven
10.
Shadow, how much does a pack of cigarettes cost?
$7,000 now.
No, tell me how
$10
much.
pack of cigarettes.
No, it's 1014 now, even local
Okay.
joints. So they've gone up.
That's
a little
with
bit.
tax.
Oh, yeah, with taxes and stipends.
So 1014. That's the total with tax added, right?
Today, now, the local joint was always $10. Now it's 1014 as of today.
Okay. So how many cigarettes do you get in a pack? Is it 20?
20. No extra.
Okay. So that's essentially So you're right. So it's 1007, half a
Yeah.
pack. So 5 cigarettes cost you $5. That's a fucking. Wait, no, I'm wrong.
No, it's not
10
right.
Yeah,
cigarettes.
my math-
cigarettes.
Sorry, 10.
10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Sorry, my math's all fucked up. So 10 cigarettes for $5. So you just cut out 10 cigarettes a month. Boom, you have an extra $5.
Let's try this example again because that sounds like a good fucking deal. Back to the coffee thing because I don't drink that anymore.
How much is a
Let's-
beer? How much is a Bud Light?
A Bud Light? Yeah. Well,
at Uno's.
Well, Uno's in the big goblet, like Dr. Doom style.
Like
ones.
$7, right?
Yeah, one is
Yeah,
free.
7.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think
This is
you can
we're not
fucking-
doing a good job of this. Come on,
This
try
is a
to.
bad one. You could send emails and don't buy stamps. I don't know, fucking know. Yeah, but
Well, you got no one but yourself to blame for this.
whatever the
I'm
fuck.
trying to give
Okay.
him something. All right, I'm trying to give him something.
Well,
a little
stop
bit
it. After
Yeah.
7 years, you think you'd learn, but you can't.
Really? This one.
$5. Okay,
Oh,
that's
shit.
10 cigarettes. All right.
What would you buy
There.
at Walmart for $5? Which aisle? Give me the aisle.
10-pack of underwear.
A 10-pack underwear for $5. What kind of underwear are these?
They're a Walmart special.
Yeah, I guess so. So there's a lot of things you could fucking get with $5, and you could just not get one of them for the month, and then you can listen to us talk about Police Academy 2.
That's fun.
That's what I'm getting at, Raven Shadow.
We should get there.
was trying to.
Yeah, I was trying to. Thank you, Aries.
I don't do a lot of shopping anymore.
Who does it?
You live alone. Who shops?
Yeah, who
I
shops
just-
for you?
I stocked up.
It's just Magic's in the house.
Wait,
There is
do you have
stocks
Peapod
up.
coming over to your house? You place in your order and they deliver it for you?
No, I just stocked up a while back. And I'm just using things till they're gone, and you know what
To the guy?
I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. To the guy.
Yeah.
And then what happens when
Why
you're
don't
out,
some-
when you're out?
Then I just try to put
Who's-
the fast forward button
Who's
on
gonna
and try
buy?
to.
Who's gonna buy you deli meats?
Somebody will put the fast forward
shit.
button on this show.
I don't know, Coney. Send me some deli meat.
Well,
Need
he'll send it next day. If you send him deli meat, he'd
Yeah.
be fucking rotten.
It'd be all rotted
would.
with maggots by
Yeah.
the time he.
Well, that's fucking rude, and Coney
No,
takes care of
it's
himself
not
better
rude.
than
It's
me.
the truth.
Well, listen, you got your own fucking problems too. You got civil crosses to bear too. Just saying.
All right. Well, I tried. So if you guys
Yeah.
want to hear the Patreon audio, you can head on over to patreon.com/trickortreatradio. For as little as $5, you get the audio. And we're going to be uploading the Police Academy 2 film commentary. You guys can check that out. And if you guys also want to, there's other ways you can help support the show. You can head on over to trickortreatradio.com. Go ahead, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click it. It'll bring you right to Amazon. It'll input our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. Doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That's right. So go ahead. You use Amazon anyways. You got some gift cards. Your birthday's coming up. The holidays are coming up. I know Black Friday's coming up. Use the fucking link. We get a little cut, and it helps pay for everything. If you like the show, you dig what you hear, help us pay for it. And then there's also trickortreatradio.com. There's a store there. Click on it. We got the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3. There will eventually be a number 4. We have a pretty good head start on number 4 already. So we got some good stuff lined up for that. And we got a request. Tom C. wants the, what was it, the chocolate chic? Is that what he wanted?
Yeah,
on that?
he wanted chocolate chic.
What does that mean?
You'll know.
You might have been gone. You were taking a sabbatical, I think, during that time,
Yeah.
maybe, Aries.
Okay.
The chocolate chic.
I'm a little nervous.
You remember the
Chocolate beast.
Chocolate Beast, yeah. The Nuggets.
Yeah, it was the chocolate chic.
You guys
All
tell
right,
me
he has
off
no
air.
idea.
Yeah.
He has no idea.
So there's a bunch of ways you can help support the show. Find one. The other way you can do it, if you don't have any extra money or if you don't even use Amazon, the easiest way to help support the show is to give us a review. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, you listen on Spotify, you listen on Stitcher, whatever you listen to us on, give us a 5 stars, especially on Apple Podcasts, because that's the most important one. It helps get us in front of other people's ears. Click the 5 stars, then leave a quick little review. You can say whatever you want, but it usually, if people are trying to decide between us and another podcast, they might be like, I don't know, like I've heard some good things about this Joe Rogan guy, but this Trick or Treat Radio guys, they seem pretty cool too. If someone says that we're fucking awesome and, you write that there, they might say, you know what, I'm going to listen to these guys. I'm going to check them out. So go ahead, give us that 5 star. We'd appreciate it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the show. What the fuck are you waiting for? Like I said, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We're also on Google Play. We're also on the Satchel Podcast Player. So pretty much anywhere. Also, if you have Alexa, you can just say, hey, Alexa, play Trick or Treat Radio. And she'll play Trick or Treat Radio.
No, I won't.
It does work.
Those guys suck.
Listen to Outside the Cinema. Or Talk Without Rhythm. There are better shows. Is that kind of how it'll go? Maybe. So there's a bunch of ways you can listen, subscribe, give us that review. Check out all the other ways you can help support us. Now, Raven Shadow, I know what you fucking do to get ready to watch a movie now. Maybe, I don't know, this bit may have to come to an end.
Oh, shit.
Well, see, now you learn he doesn't get ready. He does it during the movie.
Listen, there's lots of things to do over the course of a day. And to fit in all the things you got to do before they're done, you got to make sacrifices. And sometimes you got to overlap when you take a nap, and maybe sometimes you got to sacrifice the occasional fap. But
Wow.
Aries, Monster Zero, was looking at me confused. Aries looking at his phone. Monster Zero is smelling his fingers. He don't fucking know. But I'll tell you this. Before I watch the movie, I check out my new appearance on episode 6 of season 2 of Tales from the Podcast. My buddy JB, every 2 weeks, they discuss episode Tales from the Crypt, and it's accompanying comic book it was based on. So your boy hangs out this week, and we talk about Terry Hatcher, Miguel Ferreira episode, where his fucking people die. And it was really good. What do you think of that? Nothing?
Just fucking put the dagger in it.
All right. So I strap on.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, the bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music, pants, quoting video games that don't have dialogues, shabibers, tasty news,
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts.
Or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Octopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
Like me.
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or straight from the tab, reductopus.buzzsprout.com.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's a blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
No. Don't say that.
It's like, you really put us under.
It's like swearing in church. I don't know.
You just jinxed us.
Yeah. you put a lot on our shoulders just now.
Well, we can strive for
you
greatness.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
you really are. You got a great show.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk, their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips, the beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the cult of muscle.
I'm Alex West. And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
We are back here on Trick or Treat Radio. And one thing I just thought of, I just wanted to, another shout out, I'm sure we're going to think of some other stuff throughout the show, but Dr. Chris over at Radio Horror just had his 12-year anniversary.
Yeah, and he was presented with an award.
Yeah. Really, it's really cool. It's crazy. I mean, obviously, we've been doing this for just over 7 years, and that seems like a lot to us. But 12 years, that's pretty crazy. And to my knowledge, I don't know what his track record is, but I know he's, if not ran a show every single week, almost every single week for those 12 years. So good for him, and congratulations to a local horror icon, I guess you could say. So. Pretty cool stuff, and we actually just got tagged in on an Instagram post from our new friend that was at the Trick or Treat Radio panel, a Scanner Dorkley. Hey, I guess Instagram names are fine. It's not giving too much about a person. So, and Scanner Dorkley says, just finished watching Gwen on Shudder, and wow. A young girl, Gwen, tries her best to hold her family together in her father's absence, while illness and a company trying to buy the family's farm threaten their security. A slow burn, but I was captivated, unsettled, and stressed the fuck out the entire time. Heard about this one from Trick or Treat Radio. Absolutely solid recommendation. And if you like this one, Lady Macbeth is another must-see. I think Gwen just easily became another favorite this year. So there you go, MZ.
Yeah.
So it looks
right
like
on board with us because one was great.
You and I, anyways, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people. It's a very it has its dislikers, but who cares? That's what makes a movie great. I mean, if it has its haters and likers, especially on the strong end of both opinions. You know,
I'm not gonna say that's what makes a movie great.
I think so.
Well, I won't say what makes it great, but I do like when movies are bold and try to do something like that. Like to me, it's almost worse when a movie is kind of middling and you just are just kind of like bleh, you know. Like I like when a movie takes a shot, you know. So for me, I dig that. So, and I think that I think that Gwen was pretty successful. You know, obviously you and I think so, MZ. So
It was fine.
no, you didn't like it.
Yeah,
the
you didn't like
Industrial Revolution in Wales. You were making fun of it.
Well, no, but they made a movie.
Yes, they did. But that's not the movie we're talking about tonight.
Fair. What are we talking about tonight, Johnny?
We're talking about Parasite. And this film is a South Korean film. It is rated R, 2 hours and 12 minutes. It is comedy, drama, thriller. This is a tough one to put into a box, I'd say. So I guess that works. It was initially released May 30th, 2019 in South Korea. And this one, we were able to get a sneak peek at this one. It just hit select theaters in America. And MZ, do you happen to have that article you sent me, or at least want to paraphrase? You had sent me an article about. You could pull it up. I'll
Yeah, I got it somewhere.
Okay,
Thanks for sharing with the whole class here.
Shut up.
I'll go through the rest of this and.
Okay, I'll read it.
Okay, go ahead.
This is from Deadline. And it says, Parasite, this is the headline. Parasite immediately sells out in New York City on its opening day. And it's a small paragraph. It reads, Parasite is the most recent film from writer Bong Joon-ho, also known for Okja.
Yeah, it was a Netflix flick.
Okay, I haven't checked. I haven't caught that. And his first to win the coveted Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. The genre mashup opened in New York on Friday to the delight of those who were able to secure some of the scarce tickets. So it was quickly sold out, and it has so far garnered nothing but high praise throughout. And we're going to see if it's worthy of that.
Yeah, and one of the things I read is that it broke a record for the highest per theater average for a foreign film in America. I don't remember the exact number, and I don't have it in front of me, but it was something like, I don't know, I want to say like $150,000 per theater average, and it only played in limited screenings because it was a limited release. But it's been selling out like crazy. It's been doing really well, and yeah, it won. I think it's the highest honor of the Cannes Film Festival. So it's come with some good praise, as it's released here. So, and it did get released to select theaters October 11th in the States, and I assume the VOD release will be forthcoming. But I kind of wanted to get out ahead of this one because I really enjoy Bong Joon-ho's work. And also, I will say the star of this film, or I would say maybe not the star, but one of the leads is Song Kang-ho, which I love everything he's been in. He's a phenomenal actor. He was in the Host. He was in Snowpiercer. He's been in a lot of stuff. Memories of Murder, and he's a fantastic actor. And I think that he does this very subtle emotion very well. And I think we'll talk about that a little bit in this.
Was he Mr. Kim or was he the rich man?
He was
Mr. Kim, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And so the film was directed by, as I mentioned, by Bong Joon-ho. The screenplay was written by Jin Won-han and Bong Joon-ho as well. And it stars, let me see how good my Korean is, Song Kang-ho, Jo Yoon-jing, Park So-dam, Choi Woo-sik, Park Si-jun, and Lee Sun-kyun. And a whole host of other folks as well were in this. The synopsis: all unemployed Kai-tek's family takes peculiar interest in the wealthy and glamorous Parks for their livelihood until they get entangled in an unexpected incident. So that's actually like, I didn't even read I don't think I read the synopsis, or if I had, actually I might have read it last week, but like this is a film I wanted to go in cold. Yeah, I did watch a trailer. It didn't really show much, which I'm glad. But so I guess we'll get some quick impressions. I'm a big fan of the director Bong Joon-ho. You know, obviously I love Snowpiercer, love The Host. He's done a bunch of other films, man. Like this guy he's just a really amazing director, and he's done some great stuff. Let me see what else. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, Memories of Murder, which is, you know, one of the great South Korean films in the last I guess couple decades. So he's done some really fantastic stuff. So what did you guys have any expectations coming in? Because I know that we've done a fair amount of South Korean films, but you know, you guys all saw Snowpiercer. I don't know if Aries did actually, but we all saw Snowpiercer. I know MZ saw The Host. So what were expectations coming in?
I didn't have any expectations coming in. I try to keep as level as possible when it comes to these things. You know, I'm always looking forward to watching another film, you know, but I always try to, you know, even though I have loved this guy's work in the past, you know, that doesn't always automatically mean that you're going to hit gold with the next one. Right. So I always try to keep a very leveled, you know, anticipation for films.
What's the thing? I mean, the longer your body of work continues, the more opportunities you have for strikeouts, right? You know what I mean? Like the more your on-base percentage.
To use a sports analogy, very good.
Yes, baseball is a sport. Thank you for playing Monster Zero. But you know, but to be fair, I mean, the longer you're in a game, maybe you know, it's easy to have, not easy, but I mean,
you're higher at risk for something that might not go as well as you would hope.
Yeah, right. I mean, I fucking love John Carpenter. It's fair to say we all love fucking John Carpenter. But there's also
you love fucking John Carpenter?
It's weird.
We don't know.
No wonder he smokes so much.
Yeah, no, that's nice. You can just relax, and I'm like,
just relax.
Yeah, and
just
happens.
Relax, John. Just relax.
Yeah.
Take it easy. Here, bite on this.
That's fucking weird.
You're the one who made the statement.
Yeah.
You love fucking John Carpenter.
Yeah, you
do.
You do.
Love dudes more than I do.
You do use that verb a lot.
Yeah.
I'm Italian.
Oh, that's supposed to make him feel better?
And that makes it okay?
He's like, hush, John, I'm Italian. Yeah. That's weird. You made it weirder.
No, you made it weirder.
But no, I think what I'm trying to say is that I was excited because no, The Host was fucking dope.
Yep.
I remember watching that years ago. Very much enjoyed that. And I loved Snowpiercer. And he didn't do Busan, right? That wasn't him.
No.
He should have made that. That was a good movie too.
He should have made it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because he even had more in his
right,
repertoire.
Let's just go on.
But no, what I'm saying, yes, I did have an expectation of wanting to like this, but I loved not knowing what I was walking into, and all I had was an image of the characters, and I'm like, well, how is this fucking going? It just seemed unlike what he's most known for.
Yeah, and honestly, with this one, I usually take, as you guys know, I usually take notes. With this one, I didn't really take many notes because I've been really looking forward to this, and I just wanted to kind of take it in and enjoy it. So I didn't even bother taking any notes for this one. I will say, so we have the family, the main family. Let me. What was it? The Kai-Teks? I just want to remember. Yep. So the Kai-Tek family, and so they, they're down on their luck, I guess, is putting it lightly. They're living in like a basement apartment that's like a kind of a dump, and they're stealing Wi-Fi, because they can't afford it. And then the opening scene is the son. He's they lose their Wi-Fi signal. Someone put a password on the Wi-Fi, so he's trying to get like another signal, and so I thought it was kind of a nice way to show their struggle. So we got that, and then he goes up to like where the toilet is and like puts it up in the corner of the room, and he finds like a spot where they have Wi-Fi. So,
which is disturbing enough as it is, where considering where the toilet was.
Yeah,
that was really kind of unnerving.
And I was trying to figure out, like, is that? I mean, it's almost like they potentially were even like squatting, right? Like, I mean,
that just shows it's living below the sewer lines.
Yeah,
yeah, it almost looked like they were squatting. Yeah, and by the way, I'm sorry. It was the Kim family. The Kai-Tak was the name of the character played by Song Kang-ho. So it's the Kims. And
sorry.
Yeah, so there's 4 of them. Mother, father, sister. Not sister. Daughter, son. And so the son, who is Ki-woo, played by Choi Woo-sik, he has a friend named Min who is a tutor for a girl for like a well-off family, and he's going to study abroad, and he wants someone to fill in for him, and he doesn't want to offer it to any of his his friends at school because he's afraid that they're going to hit on the girl, and he wants to ask her out. Go ahead, Ram Shadow.
Oh, that's funny even too, because it ties. I forgot. I remember he said that.
Yeah.
And the Kim family, and essentially the Kim family, they're kind of like the Korean Bundys, in a sense.
Jeez.
And by Bundys, I mean like married with children. Like they're kind of schemers and liars and degenerates, right? I mean, like I'm not that far.
I know. I get what he's saying, but also you don't have the son, being a complete and total horn dog. You don't have the daughter being a complete and total slut. You don't have the mom being a complete and total wastoid.
I think the only comparison is that it's the same family composition. That's the only way. This family wasn't scammers. They were trying to get by.
But they kind of become grifters, though.
Well, we're just starting out the fucking review.
Well, sorry. Well, fine. But I thought it was
they
funny
don't start out like that. They don't start out like screwing people over. They're trying to make honest. They're trying to do an honest job and get honest work. And they're basically making pizza boxes for a local pizza joint, and for probably like 10 cents a piece or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and they're being screwed over because apparently they can't make the boxes correctly. They're getting all screwed up, so they get docked to pay. And so the son, get away. So the son, Ki-woo Kim, is that right? Ki-woo Kim. Yeah, he played the son. He had, so he takes up on the offer from his friend to help tutor the young girl of a very wealthy and affluent family.
Yeah, and it's interesting because he's really not qualified for this. He took he failed the test to get into school like 4 times or something like that. Do you guys remember the?
Yeah, and was he in the service? Were they saying that? It seemed like he went into. I'm not sure if they were saying service like we would say service, but it seemed like he might have because how old was he? He was over. He was in his 20s, early 20s.
I don't know. They don't mention how old he is. So,
but I know that his friend didn't want the way his friend wanted him to be there because he couldn't trust his other buddies.
So I'm actually gonna. Sorry to interrupt. I'm actually Tim Schumer wrote a blog about this movie, so I'm gonna actually just paraphrase from his. He says a telling scene is where the son says he failed the university entrance exam 4 times, and the father says 500 university graduates turn up for a job opening as a security guard. So he's it's just interesting. It's kind of, and Tim also had mentioned that this is probably a movie that works better if you understand the social dynamic of Korea, which, I could see that, but I think there's enough here to be able to understand, we understand the basics of rich and poor, or, needy and the haves and the have-nots, we understand that basic premise. I think we've all sort of probably been on the lower end of that exchange of things for the most part, So,
well, there was one statement that though telling it wasn't entirely clear, where he was talking to his friend, and he said, "My father hasn't worked in years," but it wasn't clear as to whether he was unable to find a job or unwilling to find a job.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's a good point. And was it that they just weren't motivated? Like that's what I'm not sure. It now having seen it, I wouldn't mind going back and rewatching it because I'm sure it could pick up on some more things like that because the dynamic of the family and the movie changes as you make your way through the film, So there's some things that seem like it's just sort of like maybe mundane at the beginning, but maybe has a little bit more impact once you know what's going on,
I think it has to do with the fact that this is a poor family. They need to try and get by. They just need that one lucky break, and in order for that to happen, in order for that break to happen, one of them has to get in the door. No pun intended. And if they figure if one can get in the door, they can make way for the rest.
Well, that's the unclear part. Are they looking for the hustle, or are they looking for the lucky break, or are they looking for legitimate work?
They're looking for an easy way out, I think.
But well, is it that the hustle or like the lottery easy way out type of thing?
I think maybe the lottery. As the movie goes on, I think it's just done. I think it's a lot to do with just sheer luck. So probably a lottery in a sense, in that sort of sense. As the movie progresses, you realize that the opportunities are falling into their lap that they know that they can take advantage of.
Yeah, nothing's falling into the lap. They're making these opportunities.
No, but the opportunities are presenting themselves to them where they can take advantage of certain situations and have more members of the family join in.
Oh, I mean, I don't like the wording of falling into their lap because nothing is falling into their lap. They are 100% creating the situations.
But I think that's where, and this is not completely a joke, but where I say the Bundy comparison comes into play, where I think they do want, and I think as this movie progresses, with dialogue, especially by the father, and I have a certain opinion about the family that hopefully we'll discuss sooner, but the son was given this task because his friend trusted him. And if they were that close, I feel the son abused that trust by, it's one thing doing your friend a solid, but then by going all in and doing exactly what his friend didn't want others to do.
Yeah.
And then manipulating this family. Is that fair? I mean, like that's where I think the Kim family's true colors comes in, where I think they do want something for nothing. I think they are, in a sense, lazy, and they do grift. Whether this is the first time they've done it, it came real easy for them.
Oh, I agree with that.
I don't think there's a hustle about being unemployed and working and doing anything you got to do.
Well, the sister very easily made fake documents.
Right.
Yes.
That was not her first time.
Not her first rodeo, right? And everyone kind of got in line real quickly.
Yeah. No, and it was surprising. It was shocking. So we have, as we said, we have the son who goes for this tutoring gig, and he basically his friend Min had told him, and actually one other piece of information that's kind of important is Min brought them that rock.
Oh yeah.
And said that it leads to good fortune or something like that. Like having this will bring money or bring good fortune. It was like a good omen, Wherever in show.
Yeah, you gonna say something?
Well, yeah, and so maybe it comes down to the son, and once again, I don't want to butcher his name. Like he saw the opportunity, and then everyone else got real quick in line. Like how do you interpret the opportunity? Well, opportunity was there. Oh, and we need somebody else to watch another kid. Well, and then the domino effects come in, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. So, he gets the job basically. He sort of works his way in, and he kind of goes against what his friend had hoped that he would do, and he's sort of like, the girl already like immediately has like a crush on him, you know, and I think he sees an opportunity here, and it's almost like the next opportunity sort of fell into their lap, because she's like, oh, I'm looking for an art teacher for our son, you know, and he was like, well, you know, immediately came to mind, he made up some story about his sister, and he knows this, was it like a friend of a cousin or something like that? It was some weird, like, you know, distant relationship of someone he had never met before, and they were at a high in demand art teacher, and he's, I can get in touch with them, and so then Jessica, so his name was Kevin, I guess, when they were the English names that they used with the family. So the son, we can call him Kevin, and his sister was Jessica, and so she came to be the art teacher, and she immediately kind of owned that too. Like right off the bat, they're like owning these roles and like very believable.
Yeah, they had a complete backstory on them and everything. Like she was a graduate from Chicago, Illinois, and all this other stuff. So they for the most part they've had it fairly fleshed out, just enough for the affluent family to buy into it.
Yeah. So, you know, and then it's just this chain, and then they start to get a little deceitful or nefarious, I guess, because there's and each kind of goes into business for themselves to get the other one on board, you know. So Jessica, she basically, while she's in the back of the car from the driver's giving her a ride home, and she basically takes her panties off and leaves them in the back seat of the car. And what happens from that is this sort of like domino effect that leads to the driver getting fired and them needing another driver. Now, Jessica mentions the dad. Oh, I know. I can't remember.
Need someone older. Older drivers are more respectful, more responsible.
Right.
Yep. So then the dad gets a job, and then they find out more information about the maid, and they all like that whole thing with the maid was crazy.
God.
Well, what really came to me was when they were bringing in Mr. Kim, the dad.
Yeah.
What the fuck is she trying to do with the panties? And like, oh, that's when business started to pick up for me.
Yeah.
You know, I was still engaged. I mean, it wasn't, you know, a lot of crazy shit happening, but then I'm trying to think about the title and thinking about what that means, and trying to. Now my mind's going to see, because I know I got fucking like 4 hours fucking left of this fucking movie.
Come on, it's 2 hours and 12 minutes.
It is I'm having fun with the Korean cinema, but no, I love it a lot, and we haven't got to Busty yet, but I'm on board at this point. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. How many sandwiches did you make at this point?
No, we had delicious takeout, and I had a small pepperoni and black olive pizza.
Black olive pizza?
Black olive.
Oh. Poor Ollie.
Wait.
So yeah, and in regards to the maid, I've never seen a movie have so much attention put on Peaches before.
True.
But Peaches play an extremely big part in this movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it makes complete total sense when you watch it. I know it sounds like such a random thing, but it does play a very big part in this movie. And what happens is that not just the Peaches, but also the possibility that that they're spreading around the rumor that she has tuberculosis as well.
Yeah.
So everyone's like saying, well, or the dad rather is saying like, you have your kid around, and here's the maid, and she sneezes and spittle is coming out of her mouth, and she's got TB, and your kid, and at his age, he's very susceptible, and he could catch it and be very, very sick and possibly die. And this triggers off a warning light in the family and the parents, and they're like, well, we got to try and figure out a way to get her the hell out of here. And that makes room for their mom to come in to assume the role of the new maid.
Yeah, and we are getting we're certainly not spoiler territory here yet, but I think this is part of this film is way better if you don't know much going in. And there's a couple twists in here. So I would say that it's basically like we're looking at like most films, like 3 acts. And the first act is kind of a setup. We learn about the family. We learn about, this new opportunity that Kevin has. And then the next act is sort of what we just talked about with the others sort of getting involved. And then the final act, which we probably aren't going to be able to broach very well at all, is, dare I say, fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Is that safe to say?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, business picks up.
No, I'd say the third act is more believable if you actually pay attention to what happens in the first 2 with the family, as far as how naive and trusting they are to everything. Like they just met someone, and because they bonded with their child, they're like, oh, we wouldn't listen to anyone unless we trusted them as much as we trust you. It's like, you don't even know this person's last name, and you trust them to that degree, but it all just kind of ties in. It makes so much sense.
I mean, that's kind of the art. It's the art of the of the grift, right? Of the scam. I mean,
well, I mean, that's their skill, but also the picking the naive person.
Right, the right mark.
Yeah, it's easier to grift if you find a naive person.
But it's funny though. I mean, the fact that they got rid of lifelong, or not lifelong, but at least established connections. I mean,
no, lifelong
with the housekeeper at least. And it seemed like the first driver was down with the rich man. He was a good soldier. It seemed like.
I mean, they didn't establish a time frame with him, but he was,
like he was his driver.
And so the thing about this, and that's why at the beginning I think I said it was a comedy, drama, thriller. It's all of those things. It's hard to pick any one, and I think that there are tonal shifts in the acts as well. Like the first is kind of like almost like a family drama, and there is some humor in there to be found, and then it gets a little bit more into, I wouldn't say suspense. The third act is definitely the suspenseful one, but it's just so interesting how it does these different genres flawlessly, and it kind of goes between them. And oh man, this is going to be tough to talk about. I really would love to discuss this in detail, but
we might have to go to fucking a spoiler thing.
You know what? Not yet, because this film isn't available. Unless you go check it out in theaters. So that's why I don't want to get too deep into it. This is something that maybe we could revisit down the road when more people have seen it, because I know some people listen to the show and they'll listen to it regardless. We don't do spoilers very often. It's only for films that really make it difficult to talk about. But I think we can still talk about some of the themes here, because clearly it's about a family that's struggling and a family that's very well off. I think the father of Mr. Park, what is he like? He looks like he's almost like a head of like a game company or a technology company, because we did get to see his work, and I couldn't tell. There's like some controllers, and he was talking about mobile phones and stuff. So they didn't clearly state it, but I think he either works for some technology company. So obviously he's well off. And they also talk about, one thing I'll talk about that's not really a spoiler, is that the house was built by an architect. And, so it's got some interesting kind of a look to it. It's got
very modern.
Yeah, very modern, absolutely. And, there's also,
which is also important to note as far as the movie progresses.
Well, there was some good world building here too. Through dialogue, you gave a sense of characters' history and their origin, and it said there was facts that were stated about the set pieces that could have just been dialogue. That could have just been, oh yeah, this house was built in 18, whatever the fuck. But some of that dialogue is there for a reason. You know, it's not just to fill time. It gives you a sense. And I think it did a really good job of this. Even the family, like, through dialogue when the kids were doing their first grift of being teachers.
Yep.
Some certain things that might have been they hit certain things about one of the children dead on in the reaction of the mother. And you're thinking, what the fuck is this fucking thing? Like, what did she get, zoom in on?
Yeah.
And I kept constantly guessing. Now that I'm locked in, I'm thinking, where is this going to fucking go?
Yep.
Because it's not going to follow a formula, right? I mean, there's one thing we can say from some of these Korean pictures. It does whatever the fuck they want to do.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So I'm just like locked in and completely fascinated about where this is going.
And go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think if we go into more detail from this point on, I think we're going to get some real spoilers here, because it does get there's a lot of information that's being churned out as this movie progresses.
Yeah, I think there's still some stuff on the table for us to discuss, though, and just to take a step back, talking about the film, the technical aspects of the film, there is some goddamn beautiful shots in this. There's one kind of near the beginning, and I don't remember exactly what the scene was, but it was near the Kim family's place, and it just looking down an alley, like, and it just was just like the way it was lit and the way it looked was so fucking great.
When he was drinking with his buddy, after his buddy off the rock,
exactly,
and they were kind of drinking shots by that cart.
Yeah,
it was so beautiful. It almost looked even like special effect or animated, like just the way the lighting was.
Yeah. And even some of the shots, like, of the house and the way that they walk through the house and go down the stairs even, and the way they show, like, the yard in the house, there's just some, like, it's just gorgeous. I mean, and that's not, that's to be expected from Bong Joon-ho, and, because he's a great director and he's got a great visual eye. But, the score, everything about this, like, all the technical aspects are very strong. And it's just a very I've used this before, and I know there's something about Korean filmmakers, like, it's almost like they're channeling, like, almost like the golden days of, like, Hollywood, I guess. I don't know if that's the golden age of Hollywood, of trying to make these very cinematic experiences. And I get that from this, and there's just something so, like, alluring about it,
No, definitely. And even down to there was some grimy sections of the city that were filmed, juxtaposed to the house that the rich people had.
Yep.
But even the ugliness that was filmed in this movie, and there was some ugly parts, was still filmed beautifully. And you definitely get a sense, too, that all these places existed in real life. Like, as you walked through, like, I know where that bathroom was in their, squatting hovel in the basement. But also, you two know they were in the rich person's house, too, where the window was to outside, where the kid had his fucking TV to whatever the fuck. They were real sets, and they were just gorgeous.
Yeah, I did like the way this movie looked. It was beautiful. Oh my god! And it was just like as Wolfie said. It called back to, like, the old Hollywood. And I when you mentioned that, and I agree with you. I started thinking back to the old 40s films, where they used special lighting for movies back then, where they used shadow upon light, and especially like shots of, like, I can't name any movie specifically, but when they show, like, after a rainstorm, the wet roads, when you see the traffic lights, not traffic lights, but the street lights, shining down, and it's all reflective and everything like that. And that's kind of what you get here too, especially during the poor section of the scene, because they show that it's the same thing. It's just done in a more poor area. Now, apart from the look, what I liked a lot about this was the fact that even though this is listed as a comedy, there is some comedy elements involved in this film, and it's not forced upon you. The humor that's in this movie is not forced upon you. It feels very matter-of-factly. It feels like something that would actually happen to you if you were involved in that situation. And while if you're an outsider and you're watching this, it does come across as funny. But if you were in that situation, you wouldn't find it to be all that funny. And that kind of humor just plays itself off really well with the tension that's being built up in this movie. I think that the comedy aspect of this film was done almost to a masterful level.
Yeah, and it's just that the sort of situational kind of comedy. It's not like there's punchlines and yucks. It's funny things happen within these situations. So, and I think that it's done beautifully. One other thing I wanted to read, once again, I'm going to read from Tim Chuma's blog here about this. And so this is something I've known, but I didn't know how to properly verbalize. He puts it pretty eloquently. He says, "It is the stated policy of the South Korean government that they want to make the best movies in the world with the aim of having a movie that eventually wins an Academy Award. There is a movie quota system in South Korea, and local movies often beat Hollywood blockbusters on local release." So that's something they're going for. They want to make great movies. They put a lot of money into making them, and a lot of the great directors are probably going to continue to get work like this because of that. So it is
Well, they're
interesting.
not making superhero films.
Well, actually,
they're not making superhero films. They're not walking around with Doctor Strange hanging out of their ass.
This fucking guy. They ain't making fucking Transformer films either, or fucking what's your fucking?
Yeah, and what's your point?
What's your Daisy the Eunuch that you like so much? What's the one with the woman with her torso or some shit? What's that movie you like? You like the movie where the girl has?
You had your chance. You tried. Congratulations.
Well, I will say the director of Train to Busan, Yeon Sang-ho, did in a way make a superhero movie that we reviewed called Psychokinesis. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah. So there is, it wasn't the traditional, typical, superhero and cape kind of thing, but it was kind of their take on a superhero film, I guess.
Yeah, and Busan had Captain America. Just saying. Not Busan. Snowpiercer.
Yes. But technically, that was an American film, I believe. I think it was an American production.
Clear.
So there you go. Let's see. What are some of the other things that we can talk about? One of the things you mentioned, MZ, sort of the way it was shot, like the streetlights in the rain. There is one scene. I won't say much about it, but I'll say when there is a flooding, that scene and the what preceded it was fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to mention that because I didn't want to. I felt that might have been spoilery. I guess not. Now I'm thinking about it, but
it just rains.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking of when I was referring about the lights and the reflection used in the old days, and that flood scene. I thought there was, especially when you see it down the street, the exterior shots of it, just beautifully done.
Yeah, and what was I just gonna say? Let me go back. I was looking at something, and so I wanted to talk about the father, Mr. Kim. It's not really spoiler, but he makes a point where he talks about plans. You guys know what I'm talking about? And
Yep.
And I thought that was really interesting. And this isn't really a giveaway or a spoiler, but he says, he doesn't like to come up with a plan because then if you don't attain that plan, like you're not let down. And plans always change, and we never are where we anticipate were going to be. Like, they were sleeping in a gymnasium at one point in time. And he's like, did we ever plan to be here? You know, of course not. So, you know, I kind of get what he's saying, but, you know, but then when he doesn't have a plan is kind of when things get interesting and weird and almost what might seem like out of character, but maybe not, you know?
And that's where I think that he was a bad dude from the start.
Yeah.
And it was funny. Shit.
I know. We have to tread carefully on this one, but it's, you know, I figured it's something we can tiptoe around without saying anything.
Based on that, something seemed very appropriate for what this character would do for himself.
Yeah.
In a weird... Fuck.
So, yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot more we can talk about this, unfortunately, because this is a film you want to go in cold. Don't watch the trailer. Don't look up anything about this one. Just fucking watch it. And, you know, you guys will have the chance to watch it. It's playing in select theaters now. It'll be on VOD soon. You guys will get a chance to watch this one. This is one I definitely wanted to get out ahead of because, once again, it's been getting a lot of praise, and Bong Joon-ho is a phenomenal filmmaker, so I just wanted to jump on board this one. But yeah, there's not a lot more we can say because there's one whole plot that we can't mention. Because that's when things get fucking really crazy.
Really crazy. Yeah. It gets really nuts.
And it's
crazy.
And it's unexpected. Yeah, it's unexpected. And you're like, what the fuck? So, you know, but even saying that, I feel is almost like a bit of a spoiler. So I don't, you know, like, it's not a spoiler, but
we're ruining the anticipation of it.
Exactly. So maybe we should sort of, you know, kind of wrap this up a little bit because it's going to be difficult to talk more about it without giving too much away. But, you know, this is, I believe it's, let me see, I think it's put out by Wellgo USA. Let me double check on that. Because they're usually pretty good about putting stuff out fairly quickly once it gets into theaters. Let's see. I can't remember if it was Wellgo or not. No, I guess it's not Wellgo. I don't know who put it up. I'll see if we can find that out, though. Parasite U.S. distribution. Let's look at that.
Oh.
So, I mean, regardless, you guys can check it out. Oh, distributed by CJ Entertainment. Okay. So yeah. I don't know how much more we could say. Does anyone have anything else that's not spoilery?
Bears?
No. I wish it was, but no, there isn't actually. It gets pretty hot and heavy after everybody makes it into the house.
Well, yeah. As the film progresses.
Yeah. So, okay, well, I think we'll leave it at that because, once again, this is... well, actually, let me just read this real quick. It says, Parasite had its world premiere at the 2019 Cannes Film Festival on May 21st, 2019, where it won the Palme d'Or, becoming the first Korean film to receive the award and the first film to win a unanimous vote since 2013's Blue is the Warmest Color. It was selected as the South Korean entry for Best International Feature Film at the 92nd Academy Awards. So, interesting that, you know, this won the Palme d'Or, which is like the highest prize that you can win at the Cannes Film Festival. And this was selected as a unanimous choice as the top film of that festival. So we don't know what it went up against, obviously, but, you know, we do know that it was chosen as the best film in the festival. And typically the Cannes Film Festival has a lot of big heavy hitters there. So that's definitely some high praise indeed. So I guess that is going to wrap up that, but we do need to head to the verdict because I still don't know what you fucks think about this movie because there's a lot to unpack. So let's go to the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether this flick was a trick or a treat, and any final thoughts we may have. MZ.
Oh, me first, huh? You know what? This is. I'll just say it. This is one of the best films of the year. There's no getting around it. The performances are fantastic. The locations are superb. I especially love the affluent house. That is just something tells me that was all just that was no set, man. That was all filmed in there, which you got to take into effect that that house has to be gigantic. I mean, absolutely enormous for them to film the amount of space that's in some of the rooms and have a whole bunch of space to work with. I mean, that house has to be gigantic. I would love to see that house myself. The structure of this movie is really, really great. I love the work between the poor and the affluent, and how they're so different, but yet they're so very much the same. I would definitely recommend this. I think that the tension that gets ratcheted up as the film progresses, along with a bunch of surprises. Oh my God, this had me on the edge of my seat, and I'm sure as soon as it breaks out into the masses and everybody else gets to see it, they're going to think the same thing. So far, everyone else thinks that right now. But yeah, this is definitely one of the best films of the year. This is a high-end treat.
All right, let's go to Aries.
Yeah, I mean this movie had its problems for me. I did love the house. I thought it was almost its own character, the way that people moved throughout the house. I didn't get the same impression MZ did, where it was gigantic. I just thought it was the way it was set up. People could move freely throughout the house in the way they needed to for the movie. But some of the I always go back to this, the way they word the descriptions of the movie, comedy, drama, thriller. It drives me nuts when I feel that things are in the wrong order. Comedy should not be the first thing in this movie. This movie, first and foremost, is a drama movie with the thriller and comedy taking up the third part of that. Because it is few and far in between in this movie. Some of it I feel is a little bit jarring as to where it goes from dead serious to slapstick comedy to disturbing moment back to slapstick comedy. And though it is organic, the way it's perceived, I don't like. They could have shot it a little differently, different angle, and just gave it a little different perspective. I feel it would have just flowed a little bit better in the movie. But this movie, definitely the acting was superb. Everyone. There wasn't a bad bit of acting in this movie. But this movie, and the story was great. The third act, outstanding. This movie definitely is a treat.
Rave Cheto.
Yo. I don't know, man. I want to watch a lot more fucking Korean films.
Really? Say you, Mr. I don't like watching subtitles.
Yeah, Mr. Runtime over there.
I don't understand what he's getting with this. The subtitles aren't my gimmick.
I'm
it's
the subtitles.
Aries. Yeah, it's Aries.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's been mixing it up for years now.
Yeah, I think at least
it's
5.
it's hard to tell you two apart. What can I say?
That's fair. But no, I mean sometimes it's fucking long, right? They're fucking long. But no, I fucking love this movie, dude. Spoiler alert, definitely top 10. I just fucking loved it. And I can't say enough how much just if you dig what we're saying, then just fucking shut any kind of media, shut any kind of when it plays, if it's on channel fucking whatever the fuck, just watch it. If it's in a theater, just go see it. Just don't know any more than you already do, because I think you'll be in for a good time.
Yeah, I would love to have seen this again.
Yeah,
You can see it again.
Oh, thank you.
And again.
And again and again and again.
Yeah, I truly love this fucking treat, man. Treat.
All right, and for me, yeah, this movie fucking ruled, and I actually really want to watch it again soon, and it's because it's so it takes you on a journey. Like this is one of those films that you just watch. Like I maybe it's self-explanatory, but turn off your fucking devices, just get engaged and sucked into this movie, because this is a world that's like fully three-dimensional. Like everything here is so well done. As Aries had mentioned, the acting is so spot on. Like everyone in this is phenomenal. And even the kids, like all of the, the children or the younger actors were great in this. And it's such an interesting film, and it takes some twists and turns. And, I know we mostly do horror, but I think that I wouldn't call this a horror film, but this has aspects of horror in it, especially, some acts more than others. But,
What's the thing? I mean, what point is it not horror? Does it have dread? Yes. Does it have suspense? Yes. You know what I mean? Like, at what point do you check all these things off? And it sounds like fucking horror, right?
Well, then it's horror for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's not horror. It's not horror in the traditional sense.
We're getting back to this whole discussion of horror like pornography. I can't define it, but I know it when I see it.
That's true.
Well, I could define pornography for you.
Oh, shit.
We don't need visuals.
Yeah, no, please don't. We've got to figure it out.
Sorry, Johnny. Tangent. Go ahead.
It's all right. But yeah, this is like master filmmaking right here. This is like a master class in filmmaking, and it's very subtle. A lot of the metaphors and it's there. It's. I think the thing about this is it's not buried so deep that it's hard to see. It's there, but there's another layer where if you pay attention and sort of get a sense of what's going on, I think it'll really work a little bit more for you. And that's why I think that this movie definitely requires your attention. Don't make sandwiches. Don't fucking fall asleep watching this movie. Don't pull a Raven Shadow.
No, well, listen, you have to read it if you don't speak Korean. You know what I mean? Like, so I had to read it.
Yes, you had to read it. It does have subtitles.
Yeah, I read it and I paused it. And I went to bed last night and I finished it today. I am getting so much shade like fucking Aries right now. It's crazy.
If you don't want me looking at you, don't talk. Because I look at
that's good. Yeah, that's good.
I look at who's talking or who I'm talking to.
Yeah, but you're kind of doing that look that you do.
That's my face.
No, I've seen
if you can't deal with it, buy darker lenses.
Oh shit!
Blindfold yourself.
Talk about shade.
I know, right?
Grimshaw shading his eyes from that.
I know. Wow. Shady attitude.
So yeah, no, this is an amazing film, and I think people should definitely check it out. And I mean, definitely this, as of right now, it's trending towards a top 13 finish. We still got some more films coming up, but this is a really amazing film. It's just, and aside from it being a good story and being well crafted, it's just the way that it's made. The filmmaking on display is undeniable. It's, you watch it and you it's hard not to get sucked into what's going on. If Raven Shadow's engaged, it's doing his fucking work.
I was fucking riveted. You know what I mean?
So there you have it. You guys, sounds like it's, aside from, it's not overwhelming. I think for some of us it is. But this is a film that we all agreed is a treat and should definitely be on your radars, because this is definitely an interesting film. And I do think this would be good to maybe have a spoiler discussion down the road once people have seen it. I mean, I guess we could just do that ourselves, but there's a lot more to unpack here that I'd love to sort of tackle, but I hesitate to do so because I think people should go in not knowing much about this, and that's why it's hard to even talk about the third act at all. So
and I could so see a shitty fucking like remake trailer giving all this fucking shit away too.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see a remake coming out of this. I mean, the press on this movie is so positive. Somebody in this country is going to say we got to jump on
for the American version.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like all that would be in the fucking trailer.
Yep. Yeah, I would not be surprised if this gets a Americanized version of it. So,
not that I'm all for it, but Bruckheimer, call me. I can do a part in this.
Yes,
Bruckheimer.
Oh, he's all about that.
Oh, you're gonna be the guy who's pissing outside the window all the time.
Yeah.
I can do that.
No. That's Raven Shadow pissing through a screen window.
Listen, one time this fucking happened.
One time is enough.
Listen,
one time is all it takes.
It wasn't my choice.
You were shitting through the screen, for Christ's sake.
That'd be rude.
That would be rude.
Like a Play-Doh Fun Factory.
Oh.
I was getting poked too at the time, by the way.
Spaghetti?
Where were we getting poked?
Well.
Yeah, what?
I was. That's why I was. That's why I was.
And today it's called pegging. So just
wait. Whoa. There's a lot to unpack there. What's pegging?
Oh. Yeah, look it up. There you go.
Give me your phone, MZ.
All right, well, that's going to do it for our discussion about Parasite. Definitely seek this film out, whether you check it out in theaters or whether you wait until it hits VOD or DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. This is one definitely that's worthy of your attention. So keep an eye out. All right, well, we're getting pretty late. We got 2 voicemails, so I think we're just going to roll right into that. Actually, before I do that, next week, I got to talk about what we're doing next week. Next week, I gave these guys a choice, and it was, well, I guess 4 of us. I don't know if overwhelming is a way to put it, but we had 2 choose this film right away, and Aries didn't care, so that was the deciding vote. And we're going to be doing Bobby Zombie's 3 from Hell next week. Just hit VOD a couple days ago, so we're going to be checking out Bobby Zombie's 3 from Hell. You guys looking forward to this one?
Yes.
Looking forward to any film that we review.
Slow it down.
Get your mouth off of his ass.
Well, MZ, I know, MZ, you generally like Rob Zombie stuff. Like, you liked Lords of Salem, you liked Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, it's half and half right now.
But
yeah.
But what about 31?
Oh, fuck 31.
It's terrible, right?
Oh, it's awful.
And none of us, did you like it, Raven Shadow?
No, I hated it. No,
Okay. So it was pretty unanimous. I think we all hated it.
That movie was terrible.
Mr. 31, right? And I didn't love Lords of Salem either, except for that weird fucking cheddar goblin thing that was running amok.
I love Lords of Salem.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
You got fucking problems.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
But there's something to be said about Rob Zombie. I mean, there's something to be said about Zombie's films that just aren't getting a wide release. I don't know what it is.
Well, he's the only cat that's having limited releases.
No, I know, but I mean, for a while he was getting there, man. I mean, House of a Thousand Corpses had a wide release.
It was originally picked up by Universal and dropped by Universal.
Right. And then was picked up by Lionsgate.
Yep.
Devil's Rejects, Halloween 2. I mean, he was on a roll there with the wide release films, and now all of a sudden with a semi wide release with Lords of Salem, 31, and now 3 from Hell that didn't get a very wide release either. I don't know what
it didn't at all. It was one of those Fathom events, and it played for 3 nights, I want to say in September, and then, or maybe it was at the end of September. I don't remember, but it got 3 nights in a row where it played, and then it just played this previous Monday, right after Rock and Shock. So Monday the 14th, it played as one of those Fathom events, one night only type deals, and then it hit VOD the next day. So,
and that El Super Beasto movie as well. I mean,
yeah,
just not getting the wide release coverage that he normally did for a while.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know exactly why that is. I don't know if people are just a little gun shy. Maybe they don't think he's a good filmmaker. Maybe they doesn't think he's going to make the money back, the return on investment. I'm not sure what it is. But for a while, he was going to do the Broad Street Bullies, the hockey movie about the Flyers, and I was actually really excited about that. You know, I thought that would have been
dope.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see him do something different. You know,
but even down to even Kevin Smith isn't on the screens that he was. You know, at post.
Yoga Hoses ruined that.
Have you seen his movies recently?
Well, nothing. That's the thing. I mean, even how many guys are. Rob Zombie is the only cat that's suffering from.
Look, Tusk was good. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. I like Tusk. Yoga Hoses can suck it. Okay, I fucking hated that movie
because it was bad.
It was shit.
But I'm a huge fan of Rob Zombie's music. Even if I'm not a fan of all his films, I'm glad he's making them, and I'll always be excited by a Rob Zombie film. You know what I mean? Even if they're shite.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting, and a lot of people thought that this was a spoiler, but Sid Haig, unfortunately, is not in the film very long because he was sick, and he wasn't able to, film the role that it was originally written for him. It's understandable, right? I mean, so Rob Zombie had to, make some changes and make it work because he wasn't going to be able to have Sid for the entirety of the film. So it'll be interesting to check that out. And, we know that going in now, the Sid's not in it very much. But Richard Brake is in it. And Richard Brake was probably the best part of 31. He was the main killer, the clown. Not the clown. Yeah. What's that?
Probably.
Yeah.
He was the only decent thing in 31, and he wasn't in it for very long. So.
Yeah, true. So, all right, next week we're doing Rob Zombie's 3 from Hell. If you guys want to play along at home, go ahead, check it out. It's on VOD now. Or if you saw one of those Fathom events in theaters, feel free to send your feedback in a voicemail or an email, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. You can also, one thing I always neglect to mention that we have new Instagram and Twitter accounts. On Instagram, we're Trick or Treat Radio. So go ahead and add us. Look for us on Instagram, Trick or Treat Radio. And on Twitter, it's just Trick Treat Radio. We couldn't fit the or because it's only a certain amount of characters. So Trick Treat Radio on Twitter. And then also you guys can find us on Facebook. And, we have the group, Trick or Treat Radio. Just go to facebook.com/group/Trick or Treat Radio. If you're not already in, ask to join. We'll let you in. Or you can go ahead and go to facebook.com and search for Trick or Treat Radio, the page, and like us. And if you want, you can reach out to us via that as well. So a few ways to get in touch with us. I know I don't mention that every week. I assume people know, but just in case you don't, now you do. All right, so we got a couple voicemail. Let's get to these, and we'll wrap things up. So first, we're going to hear from someone we just saw this weekend, our boy Pabst.
Hey guys, Paps. Just calling in. I wanted to say it was great seeing you guys over the weekend at Rock and Shock. I had a lot of fun. I wish I was feeling better. I would have stuck around longer, but hangovers were rough. So so my 31 Days of Halloween continues on. Number 9. I watched a movie that I really hope you guys cover. It was definitely one of the more heart-wrenching movies, but it was Tigers Are Not Afraid, which is on Shudder. Really, really loved it. Very impressed by it, and I hope you guys talk about it. Number 10, Ghostbusters, classic, love it, amazing cast. Number 11, Misery. Kathy Bates is just amazing. It's incredible, what she does. Number 12, Hereditary. Again, like I said at the live show, I can't believe you guys haven't covered this one yet. I hope you do eventually, or at the very least, I hope you guys do all see it, because I think this movie is absolutely amazing. Number 13, I watched The Deadly Spawn, which was amazing. I really, really loved it. There was just absolutely just ridiculous movie. I very much enjoyed it. Number 14, Pet Sematary, the original one. The remake was fucking terrible. I hated it, but I really love the original one. I think it's great. Number 15, I watched Boar on Shudder, and though some of the CGI in it looked a little hokey, and I wasn't a huge fan of it, I did still really enjoy that movie. It was great to see Bill Moseley in there. Oh god, the big dude, he was like Rictus Erectus from Mad Max Fury Road. He was just hilarious, like him doing like wrestling moves on the boar. It was amazing. It was really great. The practical effects in it were, they really kind of balanced out against that kind of hokey looking CGI they had sometimes. And then number 16, I watched Spookies, which was just, what a fucking clusterfuck of a movie. A lot of fun, so ridiculous, so over the top. And then number 17, I'm exhausted, so I'm gonna check into the show, watch for a while, and fall asleep. But I started, but need to finish. Number 17, Lake Mungo. Very well done, kind of mockumentary thing. All right, I'm running out of time. I hope you guys have a good one, and peace.
Oh, he didn't get his piece in. But he mentioned Boar, and he was talking about Nathan Jones as the wrestler he was referring to. So he was in WWE for a little while, but he's been in a lot of movies since. As you mentioned, Rictus Erectus in Mad Max Fury Road, and he's been in a bunch of other stuff as well. So, yeah, I still want to check out Boar. I know our boy Dainanda had been telling us to check it out, and I just haven't had a chance to watch it. It's on Shudder though. So, and Johnny Jarrett's in it. MZ.
Nice.
Have you seen it yet?
No. I have not. Now that I know this, I'm going to check it out this weekend. And
also, Paps had mentioned Tigers Are Not Afraid on Shudder, and that was one that played at Boston Underground Film Fest, I want to say 2 years ago, and I heard some good things about it then, and I must have just missed, I know it just came on Shudder. I don't know if it got a release prior to that, but I was looking for it, and I just missed the release. So that could be some that we check out, especially as we get closer to December. We have a December Cram Jam, so you never know. We'll take a look at some of the stuff that that we missed, and we'll pick some from there. So could pop up. We'll see. So as always, Paps, it was great seeing you this weekend, and always good to hear from you. Sounds like the 31 days are going well. And let's move on. Next voicemail. Someone else we saw this weekend, and that would be Arkham Josh.
Nice. Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Arkham Josh, just dropping a quick message for you guys. I did not get a chance to watch this week's film, so I'm still not caught up with last week's film, but I did want to at least leave a quick message to say that it was fantastic seeing all of you guys at Rock and Shock, and I had a lot of fun. It was great going out and getting some food with you guys, and just hanging out in general. The panel, the live show on Sunday was a ton of fun, and I look forward to seeing you guys again sometime in the near future. I just wanted to at least drop a quick line and say that. And Johnny, I hope your trip home was a stress-free one, and I hope everything's going well. All right, so I hope you guys are all having a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, Josh. Awesome seeing that guy. And he had some great contributions to the live podcast that we did as well.
Yes. Yeah. He went on for a good 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah. As always.
That's great.
Yeah, as always, he's got great information. He was mostly talking about the sort of crowds that show up for originals versus remakes, kind of like the age differences and stuff like that. So it was pretty interesting what he was talking about. So we always appreciate Josh's insight and always appreciate hanging out with him. So it was awesome. All right. Was there anything else you guys had thought of during the show about Rock and Shock you wanted to mention or anything? No, nothing. That's fine. Doesn't have to be. Just wanted to give you guys a chance. I know. We covered a lot in a little time, so I wasn't sure. But
I think we covered it.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part of the panel was watching Bill scurry across the room when someone on the other side had a question.
That's true.
My favorite was
it's like he was running the marathon or something.
Yeah, my favorite was definitely Suspiria guy because Bill ran over to him fast because he just showed up.
Yeah, he was on the far end. Yeah,
yeah, and you could tell he was going to say something no matter what. So Bill was like, he did. He did start talking, didn't he?
He didn't give a fuck. He just popped in, started going, and then Bill went up to him. That was great.
Oh shit, it was awesome. So, yeah, no, it was a great weekend, and we had a blast. So we appreciate everyone who was a part of it. I know we there's no way we can mention everybody. So. Appreciate that everybody that was a part of our awesome weekend. And it sounds like, you never know, like it could always be the last one, but they're already talking about next year. So it looks like there'll be another Rock and Shock next year from what I can tell right now.
And also, I just want to say, I think this had the best vendors that they've had in a long time too. I think they had some outstanding vendors this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked around, man. There was some really great stuff out there this time around.
It had a great feel to it too. A lot of people had said that this one felt like Rock and Shocks of years past. When it was, more people, a lot more fun. And I know for a fact, obviously I don't know numbers, and if I did, I wouldn't even say them. But like our boy Rook, Derek Rook over at Rough House did amazing. Like he had to in the middle of the second day, he had to run home and get more books because he was like almost sold out.
And that was early. I was when I got there at like 2 o'clock.
That was late.
No, yeah. Wait, early Raven Shadow?
Well, afternoon. It was afternoon time.
Yes, it was afternoon.
Well, listen. You know how hard it is to get from where I live to Rock and Shock, right? It's hard for like an hour and a half.
Oh, I don't buy that for a second.
No,
Johnny, you drove.
Wrong.
You drove there.
You know what the biggest issue is with it is you said you would be there early.
I was early.
You weren't early.
No. You probably were there earlier than anticipated.
I had to park. I had to walk down.
So did everyone else.
Oh, wait. This actually, I'm glad we extended things a little bit because it makes me remember one other thing. MZ, do you remember our wager? He's not even listening, is he?
He has his headphones on. I don't know what he's doing. He's talking to you.
What?
What? Wow. I was talking directly to you. You're not even fucking paying attention.
All right. What?
I said, do you remember our wager when Raven Shadow showed up on Saturday?
Oh, yeah. Should we tell? Does he know?
Yeah, he knows.
Oh, he does know.
I know. What?
He mostly knows.
About the over-under on when you were going to show up.
No.
Yeah,
it was once he showed up, how long he was going to stay at the booth.
That's right. Yeah. And I said less than 4 minutes. Wolfie said less than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You were gone in 3.
No. I had to use the bathroom.
You had to brush your hair.
So you came over to us, stayed for 3 minutes, then decided to use the bathroom. You couldn't use the bathroom first before getting over to us.
Well, next time I'll use your leg, okay? But no, and you set me up on some things too, by the way. And to be fair, I know what that feels like because Aries was doing it on Sunday before our live show.
Doing what?
You kept leaving. He was getting nervous, and you're he.
Before the show, before our panel show.
Yeah, you kept leaving and going to get stuff.
I walked away to go to the bathroom.
And so did I. Thank you.
And I told you I was going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I got back before we went on.
But you were getting nervous. Now you know what we have to deal with every time you do it to us.
I was getting nervous. I was getting concerned for you because you were nervous.
No, I wasn't nervous. I know what he was doing.
You were the only one nervous. These two found it hysterical because I could see that when I got back. The sheer look of panic on you and these two just laughing.
Yeah, because we knew what he was doing.
I knew what he was doing too.
Teaching you a lesson to be.
I
mean, I know you
no,
know,
that was not my intention. But oh my God, if I had known, I would have stayed away a little longer, watched from a distance.
Where's Aaron? We're doing a live show. Didn't he know that? Why is he not here?
Oh, Evil Corny popped in. He says, "Oh, Boar." I thought he said Thor.
Oh, Thor.
He said, "Well, I feel better now. I thought I was the reason Raven Shadow was late last year."
No, you were just his excuse.
Listen, listen. This. You know, this fucking things don't operate themselves.
What things?
This the pots.
What?
The house. You know, there's things I gotta do. I gotta shut things off.
Oh God.
Okay, turn them on.
I think it's time to end this, right? Is that?
I am a fucking miracle.
So, anyways, MZ did guess 4 minutes. It got to 3 minutes. Well, at 2 minutes, I started talking to Raven Shadow, trying to delay him. So
no, I saw you in cahoots.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right.
And you kept telling me to go somewhere. I should.
Yeah, you. Well, yeah. Wolfie was like, he was like trying to keep you around by talking to you, and then I'm like, isn't it time for you to go get a beer? And you're like, you know what? It is time for me to go get a beer. So you took off and went to go get a beer.
It's a guy from fucking Spies Like Us. Wouldn't you like to have a Pepsi?
You gentlemen have a Pepsi.
I can get my own urination right now. Thank you, Monster Zero. But no, I know you were in cahoots, and it was fine. I had to see people. Say,
no, you had to go to the bathroom and brush your hair.
Yes.
You brush your hair in front of everyone? All the guys in the urinal?
It was a weird guy that was looking at me.
Or you do that stall?
I go to the stall, yeah. And
you brush your hair in the stall.
Yeah,
stall?
I kind of scooched down.
What the fuck?
Do this. Because I'm tall, right? I'm tall.
What does it matter? You're brushing your hair.
You're long. You're long and thick, Raven Shadow. Isn't that what?
That's my fucking new intro right there. He's long and thick. He shows up tardy.
Thick in the beard.
Yeah. And I found out some shock secrets that I'll communicate to some people offline. But no, it was very exciting. And, hey, listen, we were all there together at various times most of the time. And that's special.
It is. It is special. And you know what else is special? Ending this fucking show. That's special.
Yeah, we get
all right, so let's go around the room and say goodbye. MZ.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
Aries.
Live fast, die hard, shower with your mask on.
Raven Shadow, you gonna follow that up?
Goodbye.
I like shower with your mask on.
You can't even take a shower with a beautiful woman without taking your mask off. Evil Corny also says Raven Shadow powers down his house like he's Uncle Owen.
True.
Does that make me Aunt Peru?
Ooh. I'll be your Uncle Owen. It was so nice. You don't even know what it was like having Johnny here. And it just made me really calm me down.
Ollie didn't give a fuck about me though. I was hoping to get some snuggles or something, but he didn't give a fuck about me.
He knew you were there and he liked you. And
Yeah,
he didn't bite.
he's nice. No, he's nice.
You gave him the vegan treats, which he enjoyed.
I did. He loved those actually. Yeah.
Yeah, last one today, so we blew through those.
Holy shit! Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He's gonna be.
Those in half.
He's gonna be fat.
But they're vegetables.
I know, but you give
If
a lot.
you eat 5 tons of vegetables, that makes you 5 pounds more.
You do give him a lot of treats, Raven Shadow.
Well, no, only when listen, he's gonna get a haircut next Saturday. He'll lose.
Oh, it looks
Oh,
thinner.
good.
It's thinning.
Yeah. He's a big
All
guy,
right,
like a fat.
all right. We could end this. So, well, that is going to do it for episode 377 of Trick or Treat Radio. Thanks to everyone who made Rock and Shock awesome. Thanks to everyone who hung out in the chat room, watched us on Facebook, and everyone who contributed voicemail or messages. And also, big welcome to some new listeners. I know we have at least one out there, probably several after we had a huge turnout for Bruce Campbell. Everyone come to see Bruce, came to see us. So we had some people that said they were going to tune in. So we appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys. Next week, as we said, we're gonna do Bobby Zombies 3 from Hell. So if you guys want to go ahead, check that out on VOD. Or, if you already saw it in theaters, and then get at us. Let us know what you think. Send a voicemail. Send an email. Whatever you want. Podcast at Trick or Treat Radio. We would love to hear from you. Or just any old thing. Doesn't have to be about the movie. Can be about anything. So, well, for those of you at the Lair of Lost Swag, and for me at Castle Wolfenstein, we will see you next week.